It's the final round, Easter Sunday at the Valero Texas Open, where the Lone Star State is poised to welcome back one of its own to the winner's circle, Jordan Spieth. It's been more than 3.5 years since his last win. This is part of the way how he came home yesterday, well right of the green at the par 4 17th, short par 4. Look at this shot, up and down, one of his 5 birdies coming home down the stretch. That gave him a piece of the 54-hole lead with Englishman Matt Wallace. He parred the first today in the final round, birdied the second, and then took aim here at the par 3 third, 174 yards, closest tee shot of the day, just outside 2 feet. Back-to-back birdies for Spieth. He bogeyed the fourth, and then now has a 1-shot lead over Charley Hoffman, who is in this final group. This was a moment ago. Hoffman for a share of the lead with Spieth at the 6th. Hoffman, who's had the rounds of the day the last 2 days, is trying to pull off a comeback, which started with a 75 on Thursday. He was 11 shots off the lead, and he has surged to the top for the moment with Spieth. So now we're live here with Jordan Spieth with his own birdie opportunity to regain sole possession of the lead. Dan Hicks along with Paul Azinger here on our 18th tire. This should be a fascinating final round Sunday.
No doubt about it. A big chance here for Jordan. Another good chance, actually.
Spieth, another one, drops at the 6th. 3 in the first 6 holes, the lone blemish at the 4th, and he regains the lead by 1 over Hoffman, 2 over Wallace, who's got a par putt here to stay 2 back as Spieth.
Well, it was really fun watching these guys warm up this morning, getting ready for this big day. And Matt Wallace was impressive, as was Jordan Spieth. Watched Spieth, he warmed up and hit a whole bunch of wedges, and I said to you, Dan, if Jordan can get that wedge swing to blend into that 9-iron and 8-iron, he'll be tough today, and so far he's done it. Matt Wallace can't let Jordan get out of his sights here. He's just got to make this.
Wallace, 30 years old, 4-time winner on the European Tour, trying to win for the first time on the PGA Tour. Safely in for par, but Spieth gains another shot on him with his birdie, and it's Jordan Spieth by 1 in the final round here at TPC San Antonio.
So Charley Hoffman, at the very least, able to stay within 1 as he has put a couple of birdies on his card on back-to-back holes. Jimmy Walker, 2nd at 12. And Walker, after bogeys at 10 and 11, feeling a bit of stress right now, and a good approach shot from 166. That one just curling off that tabletop. And actually, Vincent Whaley now, second shot at 15. 2 under. Whaley on the front 9 with a birdie against a couple of bogeys. 2 birdies on the back half, trying to get this one to work all the way to the back left corner of this green. Didn't quite get it there, but Whaley the closest of the 3. That is a long strand of a green, and if you are coming up short, you will have what easily could be a putt of over 100 feet on a couple of distinct tiers on that green. So the 15th, asking for the players to just really focus on that back third of the green, which is where it starts to trundle down into that lower section of the putting surface.
Everybody wants to know, Paul Azinger, is this the day that Jordan Spieth, in his 83rd event since that 2017 Open Championship victory, is this going to be the day where he puts it all together and breaks this slump?
He's hitting it well enough, I'll tell you that. Tee to green, he's right up there. He, Matt Wallace, and Charley Hoffman are the 3 best ball strikers on a very tough course. And one of the hurdles I think Jordan has to get over is really comparing himself to himself. Especially he's comparing himself to when he was his best. And, you know, that's hard not to do, but it's also hard to beat that hurdle when you've had a slump like he has. But that's part of what he has to overcome. When we see Jordan play like this, everybody says the same thing. Well, this is the Jordan we're used to seeing. Well, we've seen both Jordans. We've seen the really good, and we've seen the guys struggle. And we're starting to see the good again. And it started in Phoenix when he shot that 61. Yep. and he has really sustained it.
Yeah, he had a 54-hole lead there. He's had 2 other 54-hole leads besides this one this year. Hasn't been able to close the deal at either one of them, as we send you out to David Faraday.
That's the 7th hole from behind the green, par 3, and it's stretched out today. It's playing 211 yards, longer than it's played the first 3 days. And Charley Hoffman will be first up.
David, they've moved the tee to a tee box that is about 30 yards left of where it was yesterday. So changes the angle actually creates a better angle from this particular tee box up to the whole location. So anything long and to the right is not where you want to be.
Boy, he drives that in low. Less than 100 feet high, straight at the hole. That's a beautiful shot.
Couldn't have gone up there and placed it any better.
Well, he's hit the last 21 greens that he has played. He's hit them in regulation. That is some kind of good golf around this place. And Jordan up next. He hasn't quite looked comfortable, really. You'd have to say, Nora, all week. He hasn't had his best stuff, but boy, he has figured out how to get it in the hole.
He's done a remarkable job. I mean, a little loose off the tee still, but everything seems to sort of be falling in place for him, starting to make some putts, starting to utilize his wedge game, and it's about scoring, right?
Sure is. Come here to write numbers.
This is at the left edge of the green. Should be fine.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Well, the Englishman, Matt Wallace, will be up next. And John, you're shadowing.
Matt Wallace is, he's on the edge right now. The crowd is bothering them. A lot of them are moving right after Jordan and Charlie hit, so he needs to keep his composure more than anything right now. He's got 200 yards up top of this first swale, and the only danger here is getting something pin high right, because everything falls off hard to the right off the green.
It's such an emotional battle to play this sport at a high level.
This is on the same line as Jordan's ball, a little bit left, asking for it to go. Good shot.
Lovely shot.
Yeah, the ups and downs of golf will make you crazy sometimes.
All right, so Spieth hanging on to that 1-shot lead. Trying to close the deal in his native state of Texas at the Valero Texas Open.
Ryan Moore trying to straighten up the card. Level today. Second shot coming into 17. This group beginning on the back 9. 111 yards to a back flag. And that one comes to rest inside of 11 feet. And Moore a chance to see if he can get it to 1 under on the day. 18 now for Rafa Cabrera-Bello. He had a beautiful eagle 2 in his round on Saturday. Holed out from just over 100 yards at the 12th. And this one's sitting on the edge here at 18. That's going to be left for birdie. And if he can make that, he'll have a chance to see if he can turn and 1 under par. Aaron Wise with his shot. Ooh, kisses the flagstick. Terrific shot. He had right at 90 yards coming in. And that'll be a tap in. In fact, he's got a little bit of a run going on right now, as he's totaled 4 birdies on the back 9. When he taps that one in to this back pin at the 18th, Tom Lewis with a very solid shot. He's got a chance to clean things up and get it back to 2 over. San Antonio, Texas, where we have enjoyed a lot of history in the game of golf through the years. One of the long-standing stops on the tour schedule annually, and happy to be back here after the pandemic kept us from enjoying it in 2020. Bo Van Pelt, second shot at 17. And a couple of hops, and that one comes to a stop in that 12-foot range. So Van Pelt will have a look.
get you out to the 7th.
When we take a look at the proximity, the average here is 37 feet away from the hole, and all three of our final group have knocked it inside that. And Jordan will be up first with his chance. Nora?
It's an awfully slow putt here, David, and seems like Jordan has picked up on the speeds better today, but he's going to have to give this one a wrap to get it all the way there.
Man, he got it there too. What a lovely effort. It's a good sign. Getting it to the hole, giving it a chance. It's always difficult with the lead. So he will stay one shot in front for the meantime. Charley Hoffman with a chance here to tie. And I believe Wallace will be up next. And John Wood is down there with this group also.
David, he's got about 30 feet up the hill. We talked earlier about Gareth Lord, his relatively new caddy, and the experience he brings. And you know, Gareth has been doing a great job walking shoulder to shoulder with him, talking the whole way, making sure he doesn't get too far into his own head and upset, because he's, like I said, he's right on edge right now. But Lord, he's just doing a beautiful job out there of keeping him in the game. So he's hitting it beautifully. 30 feet straight up the hill, David.
He's not going to turn or reach. He is not at peace with himself at the minute. You've got to be your own best friend out there at times. Here's Ricky.
At the par 4 11th for birdie. We're seeing some signs of Fowler, Zing. It's been a long process for him as well.
You sure are. Talk about Charley Hoffman's comeback. He's hovering around the lead. Ricky Fowler's made a nice comeback here as well.
There is Charley Hoffman.
And David, you know, all the focus on Wallace and Spieth after being in that marquee pairing yesterday, and Charley coming on late in his round, shooting another big one. But he has made every green in regulation today, just to give you an indication of where he's at with his ball striking.
He went the other side, and always a little low. So all three of this final group will make three here at the 7th hole. No change. Spieth at 14 under, Hoffman 13, Wallace 12 as they go to the 8th tee.
And David will sneak in here that today's coverage is brought to you by FedEx, where now meets next. And by Valero, driven to make a difference. Overcast skies here in the San Antonio area as we set up the 8th.
And the 8th is a par 5. It's 599 yards. A dogleg left does play uphill. Really want to avoid this fairway bunker up the right-hand side. Makes the whole play extremely long if you have to play from there. Second shot, well, it's to a narrow area, and you want to avoid the trees on the right-hand side. Most of the players will lay up to a comfortable yardage, some 70, 80 yards short in 2, and play a third to a hole location today that is in the front right portion of the green, and a lot of ways to get the ball close. The green, Gary Woodland, is actually just short of the green. Pitch to here, nice birdie putt, and Woodland to 6 under. All right, there's a good look back down toward the tee, and again the tee shot critical. Put the ball in play. You should have a chance to make birdie. When you play first.
Oh, beautiful golf swing here, Gary. Right down the right center.
Yeah, that should be good. Fairway tilts a little bit right to left. Good kick. And that is well done. Now let's see what happens with Jordan Spieth here. Has not hit a fairway with driver yet today. The only 2 fairways he has hit were with a hybrid and a fairway wood.
Yeah, that's a great observation. First 2 tee shots off 1 and 2 were well left. Next driver he pulled out on the 4th went well right, so somewhere in between those would be nice.
All right, we'll check it out using Top Tracer powered by Top Golf. And that looked a little better. Noda starts
That was
it up
it.
the left.
Just got to bottle that one up and carry it out the rest of the day.
Here we go. And Matt Wallace, last to play.
Gary, much less wind than we've had the previous few days. Right up the right center, looking really good.
Yep, all 3 players find the fairway.
Jordan Spieth with the lead by 1 over the guys walking next to there. Charley Hoffman by 2 over Wallace. He was born in Dallas, Texas. And happy Easter to everyone out there, Texas style, as the singing cowboy Gene Autry takes us to break.
This with the lie below his feet is Troy Merritt, second at the 12th. Level par. Merritt from 137 catches it cleanly, and that one sits down fairly fast. And so from there, Merritt looking at a nice opportunity in the 12-foot range to pick up birdie, and it would be his first of the day. At 16, bunkered is Vincent Whaley. Nice sound coming out of there and tracking a little short on the speed, but still he has a chance to save his par and remain 1 under on the day. Back to 12, K.H. Lee with his second. Lee from 134 drove at 289, and you find that perfect number, and then you can play to this back flag, and he confidently struck that one. So Lee looking for his 3rd birdie of the day, and it can move him to 2 under on the round. Rafael Campos, pin on the left side as these players come into this green, left of that big bunker in the middle. They call it the donut hole. Campos up that slope, coming up a bit short. Left himself with a little bit of work, 4 feet in fact, and so Campos will need to make sure he concentrates on that one to grab his par. Ryan Palmer 4 under, second at 12. Palmer, the biggest drive of the 3, right at 300 yards, leaving 126 coming in. And hole high, but off the mark to the right. So a 20-footer coming up for Palmer. He has 2 birdies, 1 bogey today. So sitting 1 under on the round and probably feeling like he's missed out on a few opportunities. We'll see if he can make that one there.
Well, it pays to have a good attitude in this game of golf, even when you get off to a rough start in a tournament like Charley Hoffman did. He was +5 as we take a look at his first round scorecard. He teed off on the 10th. He was +5 through the first 15 holes of the tournament. He did tee off the first there, but he was a rough start nonetheless. And so Charley has just been blistering the course ever since. Coming into this final round, he was 15 under in 39 holes since. So now he's 18 under through his last 46 holes.
Not a lot of guys could do that. They get off to bad starts, and especially when you get a little older. Charlie's been out here a while. Players can tend to mail it in once in a while, but he would have none of that. He's got a great attitude. He always has, and he's pretty fierce when he gets a sniff of the lead.
Yep, and this is even more impressive as what's happening now, because the last 2 days he's had the best round of the day, 66, 65, and he is not letting off the throttle, Gary.
No, he certainly isn't. Doing just what he needs to do to stay neck and neck with Jordan Spieth, who's set to play his second here at the par 5. A little bit of a blind shot over the hill.
310 to the front, so certainly out of play to reach it in 2. Very conservative with the iron. And he hit to the widest part of the layup area.
It's not a gimme layup. It's kind
No,
of
it's
tight.
not. Yeah, he's got it down the left side, which gives him a good angle. All the holes cut over on the front right portion of the green.
Yeah, the fairway's a little lumpy in there, you know, and his just trickled off into the rough, and that's a difference maker. So much better if you can be on that short grass there. Hoffman, he could have birdied every hole so far, Gary.
Yeah, he's striking the ball beautifully. He's hit 24 of the last 25 greens in regulation.
A much flatter lie than what Spieth was dealing with, so holding this back up into the breeze should be perfect.
Yeah, that's what you want. And it's an advantage. Hoffman from the short grass. What a difference maker. On just what seems to be a pretty simple layup, Gary, but it's not.
So Wallace also choosing a long iron.
It's heading right, Gary.
Yeah, there's some trees over there. You do not want this
Horrible kick.
right. We'll have to deal with those. We move up to the green. Audubon Lahiri with for birdie, chance to get to 9 under. Down the hill, Speedy, and uses all the holes. So Audubon Lahiri to 9 under, but that's still 5 shots back of Jordan Spieth.
6 unders, Gary Woodland, second shot here. Woodland, former U.S. Open champion. Nice shot coming in. An opportunity here at the 9th to get it to 1 under. He has left himself with 9 feet for birdie. Ricky Fowler now. Fowler's at 5 under. Second shot here at the 12th. Fowler well away. He just had a similar number, 142 coming in, but a much longer play for birdie from 36 feet. Ryan Palmer, we focus in on him as he's at the tee at 13.
If it's 90, I think I can get it. That's right.
It's 85. But yeah, yeah, it's 85.
I just want to cover.
Oh, it's 80 cover. But yeah,
Tonight's at 995. 6
all right, just give it a go.
All right, Palmer now set.
Maybe in a 5 iron. Hit it too good.
All right, just compress it. Get one out of it.
Pin to the front. And that bunker definitely in play. Pin is just about a pace off to the right. 4 under is Ryan Palmer as he strikes his tee shot here at 13. Need to get it close to that front edge. It carries the bunker. The yardage was pretty solid. And he'll have a little left to right breaker back towards that flag. Looking for his 3rd birdie of the day. It can get him to 1 under on this side as he made the turn in 1 under par. Jordan Spieth up by a shot, 11 wins in his PGA Tour career, but without a win since 2017. His last was when he was holding the claret jug at the Open, and he's hoping to finally get back to those winning ways. He's up by 1 right now as they work 8.
And we're back here at the par 5 8th. And Charley Hoffman set to play first.
Just an ideal look here. Gare, 86 yards left, and you know, it's just really about distance control. You just want to guard against that false front. Anything coming up short will spin off the front edge.
We'll cut just about 4 paces over that false front.
You just smash this.
Yeah, you can hear him say, smashed it, and get down as soon as it made contact.
Check out our FedEx summary, Gary, with Charley Hoffman sitting in 54th position right now on the FedEx Cup points list, looking to make a big move like he has at this tournament. Most points earned at this tournament since 2009. That's what all those high finishes and a win will do for you. And if he goes on to win, Jordan Spieth would be projected into that 7th position. Hoffman obviously would make a big move in his own right.
Spieth's third on the way for 74 yards. Usually very good from this distance. Paul, third on the PGA Tour in proximity from 50 to 75 yards, and shows why right there.
Yeah, well, so much for Hoffman having the advantage in the fairway. Spieth's talents are off the chart with that wedge.
All right, so Matt Wallace, what's the situation here? Tree issues?
Bad lie, tree issues, bad angle, and boy, he's only 50 yards from the green. You wonder if he should have hit 3-wood there and just gotten it all the way up there. If he could hit iron to here. You hate making the smart play and hitting a bad shot.
Is he going to go up and over?
He is.
Wow, really well done. And we move over to the par 3 third. Charles Schwartzel on the tee, started on the 10th. This par 3, we've seen some good tee shots here today. Jordan Spieth, the best of the day. Well, Schwartzel close. Over to the 11th.
And Corey Connors, who won this tournament, changed his life and career big time a couple of years ago for birdie over at this par 4. Nicely done. Putting better, go along with that ball striking. He is dangerous and has been playing well. Woodland's over at the 9th. His game beginning to come back into full form, feeling healthy.
Yeah, and that's a fine birdie at 9. 479 yards.
2 in a row for Woodland to 7 under as we go over to the 8th. About 30% capacity, they're telling us this week. So anywhere from 5,000 to 7,500 fans on the grounds this week. All we know is it has been a welcome atmosphere throughout our 6 in a row here. This is our final one to complete our swing.
And a number of the players have indicated how much they've enjoyed having the fans back as well, Dan, talking about the energy that they create when players hit good shots or make good putts. So Charlie's ball nestled up against the second cut there, but doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, especially the way he's putting. I mean, we noticed earlier in the round he's hovering it as he begins to take it away just to create a little bit smoother takeaway. So he should just hover it. Should not be an issue. Should still be able to catch the ball on the equator.
Hill should move a little to the right. He respects the speed. Should be a par for Hoffman. Starts down low, and then he'll pick the putter up just before he takes it back. A little reminiscent of what Ricky Fowler does. And back in our day, a guy by the name of Don Pooley. Paul used to putt that way and putted very well.
Sure did. I think even Nicklaus kind of hovered that putter a little bit.
He hovered every club.
He sure did.
It looks as though Matt Wallace will be next to putt.
Well, Hoffman let a real chance get away there with his wedge. It wasn't a gimme wedge shot, but you want to do better than that 30 or so feet because your opponents are going to hit wedges like these two guys hit, Gary, and give themselves great chances.
A little over 6 feet here, Gary, and I can't tell you how good that wedge shot was. Unless you were down there, I don't think anybody can have any idea how. I didn't think he'd get anywhere near that close to the hole.
Supposed to move to 13 under. And of course, we touched on his putting grip yesterday, the 2-thumb grip that he uses, and that's exactly how he places his hands on the putter grip. Needs to stay up. I'm looking at the stats, Paul. His putts per round in the 4th round. Now, he's only played 7 events on the PGA Tour this season, but he's 166th, by far his worst round statistically putting.
Yeah, that's, a lot of that's psychological. You know as well as anybody that putting is a big part of it's mental.
All right, Spieth with a chance to increase the lead.
You know, you can say it's putting's mental. Gary, but what does that mean to a lot of people? I mean, putting with a philosophy is part of it, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. And consistency, routine, how you go about it.
Well, Jordan's been pretty locked in this week.
Yes. Great wedge shot, great putt. And Jordan Spieth to 15 under par. Now has made 21 birdies this week, and the most in the field. Up to the ninth.
Second for Lahiri, who's trying to come from back in the pack. He's 9 under. Full 6 back to Spieth after Spieth's latest birdie.
Oh. Yep. Pretty good shot. Hard to get all the way back there. This 9th hole is really difficult. Just about as straight as you can point. The tee aims you up the left side. The hole's fairly straight. You just plaster a driver down there as far as you can at 479. There'll be no 3-woods off this tee, but it's narrow up there. Cactus and rocks on both sides if you miss. And look at this green. It's pushed up all the way around. It's like a moat, a dry moat around this thing. And with that hole all the way in the back, you can see the plateau right before it. It's virtually impossible to get up there hole high today. Par. Be a great score here for the leaders.
Toughest hole today, Zing, playing at 4.3 average, and there is that green. You can see how it's raised up. Only 4 birdies so far. Half the field, though, still to come through.
And Zing, he put a beautiful swing on that tee shot off of 8, so obviously syncing things up, getting him to come in at the right point and square that face up nicely.
Yeah, feel probably Trump's thought at this point.
Yeah,
in this golf tournament.
Especially for a player like Jordan, I agree.
Shot. Oh, yeah.
Go.
That's another beauty right here.
Yes, sir.
Maybe he's found the groove with a big stick.
Well, you know, the key is to remember what your thoughts are, and then, you know, but generally you feel something first and then convert it into a thought, don't you know? So that's kind of the pattern.
Zing, it's remember them and then forget them.
Yeah.
And then just trust your instincts like that. You know, it's this whole slippery slope. But, you know, this guy seems to remember a lot as far as his tee to green game has gone.
He's like on autopilot, especially with his irons.
Really has. Just a little bit down the right edge. Wind might save this.
You know, that last hole, that wedge shot from 87 yards is really the only bad iron shot Hoffman's hit today. What another beautiful drive here.
Yep. He is in total control. Now Wallace.
Path, guys, please. Thank you.
Here in North doing a little bit more traffic control out there, Woody.
Yeah, they're moving all right. I think he's trying to block him out instead of trying to stop him. It's just it's a losing cause.
Woody, he's big on trying to keep his right elbow close to his side. He wants that right elbow to fold. We watch him work on that. There's the routine. Beautiful pace of his swing.
Up the right side here.
Looks like we got 3 good ones. Indeed we do. Wallace taking that right side. Over at the 13th, you saw Ryan Palmer's tee shot on the plane through. Beautiful shot into this long par 3. It's just 191 yards today, though. They brought it up some 50 yards.
Give him a reprieve on a Sunday. It's usually the other way around, but that's good. This might turn into an action-packed birdie hole.
Another Texan, Ryan Palmer, playing some good golf here at the Valero Texas Open. Spieth is out by 2 now over Hoffman, 3 better than Matt Wallace.
Off the edge here at 16, Sung Kang, 1 under par, and just chipping this on. And he was looking at that right to left play. He knew it was going to come off the club face and immediately start to twist to his left. So it looks like he'll be able to get up and down. Now the birdie try, a hole ahead for Rafa Campos. Right to left, a little downhill floater. And Campos missing about a half a cup to the right. And it does travel 3.5 feet past the cup. Matsuyama for birdie. He'll putt it from here. Right off the edge. And look at Hideki. Matsuyama making that from the edge. And definitely some support from the fan base, 17 feet, and that one's in. Matsuyama had a double on the previous hole. Vincent Whaley for birdie. And that one, as soon as it came off of that top little portion of the green, it changed the line for him, and so Whaley was not off by much. Graham McDowell, good shot into 16, and he makes the putt. So as he turns and looks back at the crowd, a nice gesture. Kelly Craft. Craft standing over that putt, able to hold it for a birdie. And so that's his second birdie on the golf course today against 3 bogeys. So he's at least brought it back to 1 over par for the afternoon, 1 under overall. So that's good news as we'll head back to the front side.
Back here at the 9th with Tom Hoagie, who lit up the course yesterday with a career-high 9 birdies, part of his 66. Holing it out again. That's back-to-back birdies to end his front 9. Lahiri made par here to remain at 9 under, so Barnes still 6 back of the leader. Matsuyama over at the 16th for birdie, putting just off the collar. Yeah, that's a hole out there. And Hideki is our Whoop man today. The Performance Insights presented by Whoop. A nice birdie there at 16, and then earlier today, this was his second from 133 yards at the 11th.
Are we supposed to say whoop?
Whoop, there it is.
Oh!
So Hideki. Nice little hole out there at the 11th. Birdie at the 16th. Our Whoop man of the day. Back over at the 9th, where everybody hit splendid drives over there. It'll be Jordan Spieth getting ready here with his trusty caddy, Michael Greller.
It's going to be the 0 now. I have to understand that. Within 50 feet of this club. It's supposed to be there? Yeah, maybe a little more up the road. Southeast, or east, southeast. We felt it walking up. Yeah, I mean the drive's still in 30, 20 with a fade. Okay. Right there, yeah. Yep.
It's certainly a caddy player soundtrack that we welcome back. All those wins, 11 PGA Tour wins that Spieth racked up, the majors in a very short period of time.
Yeah, well, there's no rule that says you have to try to get every shot hole high. This is a tough one and risky to go all the way back there.
Go and then sit. Stay there. Stay there.
So Spieth will have a chance for his 5th birdie on this front side. It's coming back down the ridge, though, and that's what he was concerned about. Looked like it'd stay up there for a second.
Stand, guys, please. Thank you.
Missed it by just an inch or 2, really.
167 here, Zinger, and the important numbers are 62 up front, 71 back edge. That's what you hear the caddies talking about. That's your range.
Yeah, you know, they're a little further up than I thought. So actually expect him to get it back there.
To 12.
Corey Connors for birdie. Yep. To the 9th.
Charley Hoffman.
You'd expect this one to get back there from 139.
He's going to step all over a wedge here, Zing. Just right of the hole.
He is just feeling it. That was crisp.
But every shot that Hoffman hits is right on the money.
Well, Charley Hoffman could certainly end up spoiling the Texas coronation for Jordan Spieth. Matt Wallace getting it back together as well. Final group battling it out in the Valero Texas Open.
After watching Hideki Matsuyama make the birdie at 16, we get to the tee at 17. If they try and take on all of this hole, 366, they might be able to get a driver to run out. And that one hops in to the bunker, comes through it, and sits up on that edge and sitting in the rough. Siwoo Kim, second at 15. Kim to see if he can route this to the pin from 192. And you'll see a little bit of a run out. If they can get it to the middle third of that green, it can at least catch a little bit of a slope and help. But he has some work left. Sung Kang now, we get back to 17. And he has a little bit of a hold off at the top of his takeaway, but catches it cleanly. And this one will be in that little left runoff area of the fairway. You can see where it just kind of has a run out off that left side. You can find the slot. It has a chance to run up onto the green. 180 is the yardage here at 16 for Abraham Answer. And they like it with good reason. It's in close. San Antonio, Texas, where Jordan Spieth was out to a quick start and right now holding on to a 2-shot lead. Despite a bogey at 4, he has 2 birdies before and 2 birdies after that over par hole. Adam had one at 16. Hadwin.
Oh, did I catch enough of it?
He's talking to it.
Yep.
And the answer is yes.
You know, it's easy to remember those glory days of Jordan Spieth, the major championships, the rankings high in the world. His lowest world ranking, though, is it's sometimes easy to forget how far he fell, Zing. He's ranked number 92. His lowest world ranking that week of Phoenix before he lit it up and shot that 61. Former world number 1, top 10 in the world for 216 total weeks. So here he is on the rise again.
And one thing about Jordan's fall off was he still made some cuts. You know, he wasn't missing every single cut. He just was not playing well at all, and he was very lost and confused. The thing about Jordan, too, is he tells you right where he is. And, you know, he revealed a lot about how uncomfortable he was.
Always has in his career, even throughout the tough times. This was a moment ago at the 11th. Chris Kirk for birdie. This guy's been playing some good golf. Another one drops for him. That is 3 in the last 4 holes. 4 total as he got off to a bogey start. But Kirk has moved it to 7 under. Back to 9 for Charley Hoffman. 44 years old. 4 wins on the tour. His last coming right here at this Valero Texas Open. But it's been 5 years. So a huge spot for Mr. Hoffman.
And well documented, guys, just how much he loves this venue. Just sees the shots, and it just sort of relates to the way he strikes the ball, which is at a high level, Zing. I mean, this guy can move it both ways. Yep. Got a nice high ball flight, and as you saw in that last drive, he has some pop in that driver as well. So it makes sense that he's able to play his way around here at such a high level.
Yeah, and the top 3 guys, these guys in this last group, have been the best tee to green all week, and it's got to be kind of a relief to all 3 of them that 4th place is so far back. It's just going to be, it looks like a 3-horse race. They all get to watch each other.
A nice look here, just a tiny right to left in this.
His putter's letting him down. He really missed 2 great opportunities on the first 2 holes. He missed another one at 4 from pretty close.
Yep, could have been much better than the 3 under. Front 9, 33 for Hoffman, and you can see on the look on his face, he knows it.
He could have. He hit it 7 under and shot 3 under. Now you got to go hit it 7 under on the next 9 and shoot 3 under again. Maybe better even. He can't let up, and I don't think Hoffman tee to green. I don't think he's going anywhere. And Wallace and his sports psychologist caddy have actually hung in there pretty well so far, Woody.
He's got to get one of these to go. You know, he had chances at 5, 6, and 8, really good looks, and missed them all. And you just feel like one of these has to go for him to get going.
All his misses just peel off a little weak to the right. Did it yesterday as well. He made plenty. That was his miss.
As Jordan Spieth gets ready here, let's open up the FedEx file on Jordan. And he won so often early in his career. He's able to set up the Spieth Family Foundation early in his career. One of the beneficiaries, special needs youth. His sister Ellie has special needs. He considers her his hero. Comes from that athletic family. His mom played college hoops. Dad played college baseball. Brother was a standout basketball player at Brown. He married his high school sweetheart Annie. Born and raised and still resides in Dallas, Texas with Annie.
Mission accomplished on that front 9. Jordan Spieth put his flag in the ground, heading for that backside here in the state of Texas, folks. He loves it here.
Graham McDowell coming off birdie at 16. It is at the very least steered it back in the proper direction, but he's still over par today. So level right now, 97 yards coming in. A chance to finish on a high note. He can add the birdie here at 17 to the one at 16, and then perhaps one more at 18, and he would level out the day. Joseph Bramlett, that one hits the backstop of the cup and drops in. Popped up in the air for a brief moment and then fell straight to the bottom. Sung Kang, second at 17. And Kang, looking at this play from the left side, 84 yards, and that one landed nicely. Kang still has some work, though. Just one birdie on the back 9 after turning in 2 over. Struggled on the first hole of the day with a triple. Abraham Answer, after such a good tee shot, he misses out there. Well, he was looking at 6 feet for birdie, and he's going to 2-putt from there and be disappointed. Hideki Matsuyama, 2 under par, second at 17. Matsuyama with a birdie on the previous hole, now trying to get it close to this back flag, still working. And Matsuyama can be quite pleased with that. He had just a nice hoisting pitch, got it up in the air and let it land softly. Hadwin for par. And he makes that. So Hadwin able to exit the par 3. And happy to see that land on the card. And in this final round, important to get as many scoring opportunities set up as possible. And Hadwin able to get it to 1 under on the day and 3 under overall. Now this 25-footer for Kang. And it runs out of speed, falling off line. So Kang didn't quite commit to that stroke. Perhaps should have played it a little bit outside the right edge, given that break, but that was more momentum than anything else. Jimmy Walker. Walker, second shot into 15. 2 over par. And a big hop that's going to get close. It'll run to that back edge. Walker had 231 coming in on the big par 4, and so now a chance to pick up birdie. At 17, oh, Graham McDowell with a misread. And he's got to reset. That would have been a great opportunity to pick up back-to-back birdies. Instead, he just has to brush that one in for a par. Certainly disappointing.
Jordan Spieth, the leader by 2 at the turn at the Valero Texas Open.
Similar to yesterday, coming in off the left, he tugged it just a bit. Trying to avoid those trees down the right, and looks like another good one, guys.
He's got that driver in the groove after the shaky start.
Yeah, nothing better than striping it off the 10th with a 2-shot lead. This is a pretty demanding tee shot. If you put it in the fairway, actually got a better chance of putting it on a very difficult green. Anything in the rough here, Noda, very difficult.
Look at the way those guys have been tearing up this back 9. Scoring average, all 3 of them best in the field.
You expect some birdies to fly here on this back 9.
Another sweet move by Hoffman.
Matt Wallace has not played on the PGA Tour much. Over 30 starts total for him at the age of 30. He's been working with a guy named Liam James from the Robert Rock Academy over in Europe. He's the same guy that's been tutoring Lee Westwood. In fact, they share the same agent, Westwood and Matt Wallace. And so Wallace says Liam James has been huge in his career out here and his want to play the PGA Tour full time. Get his card back. Full privileges. One headed left, it appears.
Oh, it's such a hard green to hit from the rough, and that is in the flowery stuff. Goodness.
All right, so what a finish it was for Jordan Spieth. Second today, third at the par 5. Setting up a birdie early on, his first birdie of the day. And then he gets it going here at the third, Sing.
He hit a lot of wedges, didn't he, Dan, in his warm-up? And all we were thinking is if that wedge swing blends into those short irons, which it did here with the 8-iron at 3, watch out for Jordan Spieth. And
so another birdie there, bogeyed the 4th, and then another birdie look here at the 6th.
well, it's all for naught if you can't close the door with the putter.
The difference maker for Spieth, and the club that has covered up a lot of erratic play, even when he was in his heyday. Here he goes at the 8th.
Yep, just doing what he's done all week. And that is really top-notch stuff.
All right, so 4 birdies on the front side today. The last coming there at the 8th on the front 9. Most events with 20 or more birdies on tour since 2011. 47 of them. He's got 21 birdies this week already.
That is a lot of tournaments making a pile of birdies. Just tells you he can putt.
Well, this guy's made a few birdies today. Patton Kizzire finishing up on the other side. His final hole of the day, working on a 7-under round.
You know, a round like this can change your whole season around. What a big move by Patton Kizzire today, a Sunday. Sunday's moving day too for some of those guys, huh?
Lahiri at the 10th for his birdie. They get to 10 under. It was a good look and a good chance to try to keep pace with the pack, but he's running out of holes, and now 6 back he remains.
Get a better look than that at 10, I don't think.
Anirban Lahiri from India, and we've got this international spectacle coming our way after the postponement last year, 2020. It's going to turn into the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo this summer, live. The games on NBC. Golf part of it, obviously, and just a great time of year to welcome the world back to the Olympics. Matt Wallace hailing from Hillingdon, England. And a look at his lie over at the 10th.
Looks perched up.
Woody, you've had a chance to check it out?
Yeah, considering what's over here, it is a great lie. The one thing it's going to be tough to judge, Zinger, it's one of those ones that could come out hot, and it also could come out high on the club face and soft. So it's one you've really got to judge correctly, but he can definitely make good contact with it.
Spieth might play first as Matt's looking at the yardage book. Looks like he is getting ready to go.
The way this green sits into the hill there, you can see how it's kind of shoved up all over on that left-hand side today. Don't want a short side left, I don't think. No.
And this 48, 49. Nice.
No, you really don't here, Zing. Although it's pretty flat over there.
It's flat, but it's
fast, yeah. It just depends how far left we're talking.
Yeah, well,
At
just
150, I would have to imagine, you know, as good as Spieth's been hitting it, you know, he's going to dead zero on this hole. Little uncertainty, guys, as to sort of procedure on play here. So I think Matt Wallace is still gonna go.
just pointed over to Jordan.
Well, is that?
Zinger, he actually pointed at a flag back here that they're looking at to gauge the wind. So
Gotcha.
it's definitely his play. I think he's just trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do.
He's not in the best spot, grass-wise or, well, angle-wise. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Here, you just got to hoist it as high as you can, and if it jumps, Woody, he makes it jump straight up in the air, not out on a normal traj, then you got problems.
Absolutely, Zinger. He's got 160.
If you don't know the lie, if you think you're going to hit a flyer, make it fly straight up as high as you can. Never let it fly at your normal trajectory. It'll never come down.
Coming out on a good line here. Just all depends on the bounce and the landing.
That's pretty much right where he wanted to put it, I bet. It's a nice putt up the hill.
Wallace trying to be patient. He has a history of getting fired up out here, so continue to watch that, but good shot out of the rough.
Really good shot, good contact. He was scratching grass 8 inches behind that ball. Some tall stuff.
Obviously, the more right you go, the more.
Don't know if you saw Spieth take a quick look on the outside part of the ball. There is a speck of mud, so this 9-iron in his hand might be a little bit of a concern for him, but not enough to.
This is our Top Tracer, powered by Top Golf.
Oh, the mud got it a little. Get down. Get on the ground.
Oh, that's that.
Mud just got it, Michael. Damn it.
Looks like it's setting up okay. Maybe
Now
not
that's
so good.
A beautiful lie. You should be able to cut the legs out from under that thing, and maybe he worked some of that Jordan Spieth wedge magic we've been seeing all week.
You were loving the wedges you were seeing him in the practice tee today.
And then the short game stuff, where he's going to be on full display on that next shot. Now, this is kind of a 44-year-old version of Iron Byron.
Boy, he's been putting on a nice hitting display today. Just nice and solid, great control.
Oh, finally misses one.
My goodness, this is left.
Oh, no. Oh, wow, what a bad time for that to happen. If you're Charley Hoffman, that is short-sighted. And really, it's going to take a miracle to get that close.
Crazy game. I mean, he's cruising along, and then that happens. You can see on the ball striker, seeing how it kind of pulls a little.
Yeah, beautiful square divot, but it was always left.
Spieth still working on the 2-shot lead.
Well, both players left of their target. Spieth in a much more desirable situation given both of those missed greens in regulation. Patton Kizzire, he was walking after this one quickly and just didn't strike it with enough speed to get it up that slope. He's putting together a very good day. 3 birdies going out, 4 coming in, but some work left there. Gary Woodland, and he makes the birdie at 11. So a nice approach and the payoff putt. So Woodland picking up his first birdie on the back 9. That'll get him to 2 under par for the afternoon, 8 under overall. Now Spieth, you can get a feel for what he's looking at. He just barely needs to get this up in the air and on the green. Meanwhile, Charley Hoffman with just a small percentage of the green to work with from a much greater distance. So Hoffman is going to have to think about a couple of different styles of play here. And it would be most likely a lofted shot, but he's about 50 feet from the cup. Adam Hadwin trying to get that entire right side through this shot. And so Hadwin landing softly, but on the opposite side. Jordan Spieth scrambling off the green, holding on to the lead by a couple of shots right now. But as he works the 10th, looking to see if he can keep it rolling. Matt Wallace is trailing by 3 shots. Charley Hoffman is also off the green, so we'll see what it looks like for him first before Spieth plays. And Wallace is looking at about 26 feet. And so he was able to find the green in regulation out of that left rough, and he might be in the position to maybe move up a shot.
And Charley Hoffman pretty happy with the way that 3rd shot turned out.
Well, he needed a minor miracle. He caught a decent line, played an incredible flop, but he was going to always be at the mercy of the bounce because he couldn't fly it on the green. You got to notice how far behind the ball the club is scratching grass. It's just so nice and shallow. And you see, again, at the mercy of the bounce. Now Jordan, he needs to cut the legs out from under this one. But
here are guys on the ground saying that Hoffman had a better lie than Spieth.
And this is right up Jordan's alley, though.
No problem.
Yeah. That's pretty clutch. Left side really not all that bad.
Going to be an easy save there for Spieth, or at least he made it look easy. Hoffman still with a little work there to remain at 13 under. Let's check in with Kazire. He has this for par. Still a red-hot round.
What a finish.
65 for Patton Kazire to go up the board big time. From a tie for 39th into the spot he's in right now, which is high up there.
Tie for 5th now.
And Matt Wallace is next over at the 10th. Woody.
Yeah, it's got to be a little disheartening to think, oh, maybe I can roll this one in and pick up a couple on these guys, and those 2 throws and those unbelievable pitch shots in there to tighten, make par, and he's got to make this 25-footer now to pick up anything. Just 3 very makeable short, you know, within 10 feet birdie putts on the front. Let's see if he can get a long one in.
Sometimes that's what it takes to flip your switch, emotional switch.
Oh, good looking putt.
Oh,
He thought he had it.
I wouldn't want him mad at me. Guy looks pretty fit, pretty strong, and yeah, he can run hot out here on the golf course, but I guess we all can at times.
That's been part of the program as well. Getting in the gym, he said, has helped him. He at one point in his career, early in his career, said he wasn't serious enough about playing the game. Had a chat with himself. His dad also said, when are you going to focus in and take full advantages of your talents? And that kind of hit hard with Matt. He has been focused and determined to get the fullest out of his potential. Hoffman for par to remain 2 back of Spieth.
You know, it's just so much more than a physical quest to strike the ball and to make the putt and hit the shot. There's just a tendency to be hard on yourself out here. Charlie could have been hard on himself day 1, but he wasn't. He has rallied back from a 5-over start.
And rallied from his only real miscue of the day. When he missed that green wide left, able to get it up and down. Springtime savings are in full bloom with the Golf Now special offer. You can get just 15% off select tee times. Just use the promo code BIRDIES. Save some green in the process. Download the app or visit golfnow.com today. Go play. Out to the 11th for Lahiri. 94 yards amid the bunkering out there.
This is such a cool par 4, dogleg right and a double fairway. And that's what he's going to need to do if he wants to hang on to his tied for her solo 4th position. He's 3 shots out of 3rd.
And back on the tee of this par 4 11th, 401 yards. You see the bunkering out there right in the middle. As we take a look at our driving holes technology presented by TaylorMade Sim2 drivers. You can either take the left way or the right way, or you can bomb it over that bunker if you think you want to take that shot.
It's about 278 to clear it.
Yeah. Over him? I feel like it's close. He's not even going to be a bunker in the next one. Get driver. Yeah, 90 yards. Doesn't more or less wind. So will that good one carry, you think? Yeah, potentially. I'm just saying if it doesn't, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd call the bunkers even.
Okay.
I mean, 90 yards out of the bunker isn't that bad. I got a full shot, but
You're still trying to miss it, right?
100%.
That's a good
That is good stuff there. Jordan saying if he gets in the bunker, he's only got 90 yards. I think I could probably be all right
off
there.
the left here.
Yeah, off the left.
The conversations these two have are really intriguing and entertaining.
It's only 401 yards, so if he gets it in the fairway, he's going to hit a wedge shot.
And Greller does such a great job of keeping Jordan focused on the important elements. He drew it, and it's going right at that bunker in the middle of the fairway.
Like a neon sign. But he flew it with a 3-wood. Wow.
That's a big pop, guys.
Yeah, that is crazy long.
Yeah, if you're Greller, it's hard to keep up with Spieth. I mean, he goes a mile a minute. Greller just kind of calmly answers questions and says, you're not going to go in there, are you? That's not the plan. They're a great team. And they have weathered this tough play to the point where he's on the verge of winning again. Now Hoffman.
For left.
Another similar swing, ball taking off quickly to the left, and that could be some major problems.
Oh, Charlie.
It's a couple of nervy misses to the left in the last 2 holes.
That's really bad turf over there. Just some rough country.
Okay, Wallace is geared down, less than driver.
You know, the advantage of getting this ball left is you're on the same level as the green and the angle gets a little bit better. If you go right, you're well below the green surface.
Yeah, it's interesting because players in the same group have gone left and right here. It's just kind of how you feel.
Left. Left.
Here we go again. Well, that's
Took a bounce seemingly back toward the fairway.
yeah. He's been spared, I think, the disaster going into cacti.
Spieth, the leader by 2, with Hoffman and Wallace in trouble at the 11th.
This is KH Lee for birdie, a chance to move it to 6 under par, working the 15th. 13 feet, but he's going to miss it on that left side. Good approach coming in from 168, and he just played it a little off the needed line. 18 now for Sung Kang. Kang wrapping up the afternoon and the week. Just 1 birdie on the back 9. He'll try and make it 2. Now that one overplayed. With that angle, he was coming in from 125 yards, and so that's going to leave 25 feet between himself and the hole, but obviously a lot of choices to make there on how to play it. Ryan Palmer for birdie, and Palmer missing on the left side. Troy Merritt looking on just to get a feel for the speed of that putt, and so Palmer will tap in. Now a bit of trouble for Graham McDowell, and he's playing his 4th. Looks like McDowell took it up the center of the fairway and tried to play through that little creek line and not successful. So that's going to be left for par from 7 feet. Troy Merritt now for par at 15, looking to remain 2 under. He has it played off of that right edge. A good confident stroke there. Kept it inside the cup the entire way, and so he avoids bogey.
And there is Matt Wallace, who is away.
I mean, if it's got natural fade on it, yes, it'll move more. Yeah. Okay.
Drew a good lie and
28.
got a great angle out of it, so not bad at all.
Yeah, Woody, that looked like it bounced right.
It definitely did. I'm not sure what it hit. He's got 138 total. You're hearing him talking about wanting to land at 129. Got to hang on left. It's a good line if it stays there.
Oh. Kind of a dream lie in the rough there and put it right on the green. That's not bad.
He's not real happy with it as we go to 12.
And Gary Woodland for birdie. He moves to 9 under par. And it's turning into an interesting battle, not just for first, but the lower places here. And Hoffman now, wow.
Yeah, that's a rocky spot.
Yeah, really rocky. I mean, he had a couple options here, but I think this is the prudent play, considering he gets it to the fairway. He'll have, you know, a little over 100 yards to the hole.
Well, for a guy that's hit it as straight as he has, the one miscue, he has to chip out.
Well, Spieth had a beauty, 284 yards from the tee. He's had a little bit of everything so far in this 11th.
116 sandwich in his hand, and this is just a nice full committed yardage here. Oh no, this is the short and right.
Oh wow. Oh my goodness.
Sorry, man. That was my bad. That was a really bad club pull by me. It's got to be one more all day because it can be long. Just not in good enough control of it right now to be trying to hit. One's so tight to that pin. Bad spot in the bunker too.
Well, that tells the story.
120 to where we want to hit it.
He's talking about he had a backstop behind the flag.
Yep, he said it was a bad club pull by him. Over at the 3rd.
Yeah, this was just earlier. Joel Damon, the man who won last week on the PGA Tour at the Corrales Punta Cana Championship down in the Dominican Republic. Almost. Had an ace. He bought a bunch of beverages after that win last week. He almost had to buy a bunch more.
You had me going there, Gary.
Yeah. All right, back at 11.
Recovery time for Hoffman. Still without a bogey on the card today.
Just under 120. He's got to fly this all the way to the hole. This will come in with some spin.
Oh, baby. He's got a chance to save this one.
Yeah, another really good shot.
Did a nice save in the last hole. Trying to do it again at 11.
Jordan Spieth certainly in control of this tournament right now, especially with the way Charley Hoffman has played a couple of offline shots, and he's now scrambling. He had 123 coming in, and so Hoffman had no choice but to try and play back out to the fairway, leaving 116 coming in for his 3rd. And so as they work this par 4, Spieth is now taking a look at what he has, and you can't really take your eye off your own work and start to think that others might be playing themselves out of this tournament, because look at this challenging shot. You have to get it up above your head height. This is less than 45 feet and not a lot of green to work with. And when they come up onto the green, we're looking at fewer than 9 paces from that little crowned edge that they need to make sure that they're up and over. And that makes it a very precise play. bunkered at 11. Jordan Spieth. He's been up to the green, taking a look at this, getting a feel for the shot. He is 3 for 3 in this department today. He needs to keep it going. And really solid work there. Excellent play. He's kept par, certainly in the equation. Around the green, he's been among the top 10 2 times this week in the first and second rounds. Another look. And a little sizzle on the shot to get it to stop. And so now he's going to be left with that putt for par. And so he has only suffered 1 bogey today, and that came at the 4th. And right now holding on to that 3 under score today and the 15 under score for the week, up by 2 shots. And we might see Charley Hoffman ultimately scramble for a par, but he is 2 shots off the lead, could drop back by as many as 3 if he loses a shot here and if Spieth is able to make his par. So we'll get back to that action, but first to the tee.
Over at the 13th, Lucas Glover with a 7-iron. This was just earlier on this 191-yard par 3. Moved up today.
Be sweet, honey. Be sweet.
Glover posing. It is sweet. Got a couple flirtations with aces in the last few minutes. And back over to Wally. Woody.
Another unlikely birdie opportunity and straight up the hill. This hole is perched on a little tiny hill. I think it wants to fall a hair right at the end.
Let's talk about how Spieth calls him Wally. They know each other well. They played together at the 2018 PGA Championship when Matt Wallace made an ace there. Jordan Spieth was in the group with him, and they had a good old time. Talking to Matt Wallace's agent earlier today, Chubby Chandler, he says it's a good pairing. Matt really likes him. They get along well. He also added, Matt Wallace is not going anywhere today. He's going to be right there at the end. We'll see. Confidence in his guy.
Well, it's a good feeling knowing it's really just the 3 of you trying to win this tournament. Doesn't appear that anyone's going to slip up from behind and shock these guys. It's still early, though, but...
And Zing, these are those situations that just come down to sheer will, how much the player wants to fight to hang in there and battle out for these tough earned pars, although he put himself in a tough spot. This crowd's going to go absolutely nuts if he knocks this down.
Perfect inside 10 feet today, Spieth. Add it to the list.
Boy, and that is 38 1-putts in 65 holes.
This is the kind of stuff from the glory days of Jordan Spieth. I mean, he'll hit a bad one, and he even did back in those successful days, but he always seemed to get himself off the hook, gather himself, get to the next hole, and do some spectacular stuff like he did down the stretch at Birkdale in 17.
Well, he has this innate ability to hit those key pressure putts the right speed, and that is a gift. But I think you train yourself for that. You know, Jordan has trained himself to learn how to win. And you don't get here by accident.
Part of me thinks you're born with it. I mean, I guess, you know, having seen Tiger over the decades make so many big putts, I mean, ever since I've known the guy, he's been able to do that. On the other hand, that's something that Charlie's struggled with throughout his career, is just big putts at big moments, and he's got a chance to create his own magic here.
Another save for Hoffman. A little fist pump for him. He's done a great job keeping in the moment the last couple of holes. No bogeys or worse in the last 25 holes.
Yeah, Jordan Spieth on the tee. The driver, beautiful little hole. This is the 12th. Yeah, he's going to like that one up the hill.
Well, he's really found something as of late, David. Another great swing there.
Yeah, that'll leave a very short iron into a little a green in here that's kind of carved into the limestone rock like an armchair almost. It's a really pretty hole. Charley Hoffman now with that truncated follow through. You'll see he has his hands low on the follow through, and really holds the club kind of rock solid and stiff there. And
This
another
one
nice shot.
should be okay. Yep. Just covered that bunker.
Now, Matt Wallace has managed to keep a lid on it so far, has not played the kind of golf that he wanted to as yet today. Even par for his round. He's made 2 birdies and a par so far in the first 3 rounds here at the 12th.
Starting right, David, trying to get a bounce left.
Yeah, didn't get it. That's not so bad. Actually come up in a pretty bare lie, which is exactly what he wants. That looks as good as the fairway there for Matt Wallace.
Now, David, you just mentioned about Charley Hoffman's swing. I had a chance to talk with his instructor, Mark Blackburn. They worked really hard the early part of the week on trying to really get a good full turn and get the weight into the trail leg. When he does that properly, the transition is slow and smooth, and he hits some beautiful golf shots. So certainly did it there. So Charley working on that, and as Mark says, he likes to create shots by seeing them and playing.
Kevin Stadler's at 16. He's level par. Bunker in the middle of this par 3. The pin is on the left side today. More on the lower portion of the green. And that one's going to sit on the edge. It did not hop into the bunker, but that stance may be just a little dicey. Abraham Answer at 18, and the try for birdie. It's a lengthy one. Answer from that bottom part of the green to that upper tier, and it passes by from 44 feet. So he's just going to have a short 3-footer left to pick up the par. Hagee back at 16, playing to a left pin and looking to see if he can draw it just a bit right to left. That one in a good spot, but it slides off the green. We've seen a few of those today, especially with the angle of attack. Joseph Bramlett for par. Put himself in a tough spot here at the 18th. And that's not going to make it to the cup. Drove it up the right side and then had to play back into the fairway. And then at that point, he was just in a defensive position and he found the creek. Ricky Fowler, 4 under as he works 16. Fowler with 2 birdies, 1 bogey today. 1 under in the round. And a very good tee shot. And that'll move him back to 5 under if he makes it. That was after bogey at 15. Birdie chance at 18. Does Hadwin have it? He does. It took a minute, but it dropped in.
Gary Woodland trying to stay in solo 4th at a bad chip shot at the par 3 13th. Has this for par. And able to save it and stay by himself in the 4th position at 9 under. Up to 16. Another par 3. Ricky Fowler, signature bunker right in the middle of the green.
Got to squeeze the ball between those 2 bunkers. Oh, yeah. How do you like that?
That should get Fowler to 5 under, 2 under on his round, over at 14.
Yeah, the par 5, we've got Snedeker with a chance to get to 8 under. Yeah, nicely done. Next birdie at the has been the easiest hole on the course this entire tournament. We go back to 12.
And Jordan will be up first.
Yeah, it's right in there. Yep.
David, very accessible hole location from this angle at 139, a little uphill, maybe just a fraction of help for Spieth. Short iron game has been very spot on, so look for him to go right at this.
Yeah, another beautiful shot. And Jordan dialed in just at this moment, that's for sure. We'll go to 13.
Lucas Glover dialed in here at 13 for a birdie that would get him to 8 under. Yep, and he's in that tie for 5th. 7 back, but battling for some cash and some FedEx Cup points.
Matt Wallace now at the 12th.
You called it, David. Great lie and a great angle. 119 is all he has with the right to left wind. This is just gap wedge. Really good line here.
Just spun on him. And he won't be happy with that result. Probably liked it in the air, not so much on the ground. Over the prickly pear we go. Charley Hoffman.
At only 118, David can fly this all the way to the hole if he wants. That's going to come up a little short.
Wow, there is a bad shot right there. With a short iron.
Yeah, he's been fighting that left the last 3 holes.
Yep. So Jordan Spieth, the 2-shot advantage at the moment, a chance maybe to make it 3 on number 12. We'll see when we come back.
Ryan Palmer, as he's set to go here at 17. Palmer with 2 birdies on the back 9 and also 2 on the front against 1 bogey. So 3 under today, 108 yards to this back flag. Gets that first big hop and then it checks up. So tried to play it to that back portion and just underplayed it a bit. Luke List with his second at 18, and this is off just a little bit of random rough growing up the right side. And this one will find that little area behind the green, and so he can chip it from there. And so List does have a chance to get up and down for birdie to finish on a high note. In fact, he has a chance to play the back 9 and 4 under. Troy Merritt, his second at 17. He's alongside Palmer and K.H. Lee. That one has a chance to slide off. It does. And so Merritt, once he gets up to the green, he'll see that one just sinks to that lower area. Now Kim, third at 18. Kim with a wedge from 80 yards, playing the 60. A little spin. Well, it doesn't quite get it to come back onto the green. In fact, it just drifts down to that little lower area. K.H. Lee with his second at 17. And he's got an open stance. He'll just try and play this over that center spine. Doesn't quite get it there. It's going to hang up at the top of that upper half of the green. So a bit of a poor play there. And Lee will have a long putt coming up. Now look at the 17th. We've seen 3 eagles so far this week. Also over 30 bogeys or worse. And a total of 137 birdies. Made it 17. Hole playing 366 today. We'll see if there's a few more birdies out there.
Now Charley Hoffman, after an evil second shot here at the 12th, with a heavenly third one.
Wow.
That is a good shot from there. Take another look. It was on the upslope. He had that opportunity just to get in there, hold that club face square, pop it up in the air. And that landed, robbed of its will to roll. Wallace will be next. Coming up the hill a little. That one spun away from a disappointing second shot. But if he could knock this one in, it would cheer him up immensely. Never had the legs. Little work left there. And that opens the door for Jordan. And the closest of the three.
Well, Spieth has been lighting up the back nine, including yesterday. First 11 holes versus last 7 holes. He was even, and then 5 birdies coming home in the last 7. You can do some damage on those last few holes, especially 16, 17, and 18, and he took advantage.
He's got a great sense of what this does. Walked around the backside of the hole for a second time just to confirm what he's seeing, but this is slow, and he can just give this a nice aggressive run.
$7,500 people here. Jordan Spieth making them sound like 75,000. The Texan takes the lead by 3.
David, he just is giving us the sense that he's doing what is required to win with his golf swing. He's not completely comfortable, but he's fitting the ball in play and hitting spectacular wedges, David, and making putts when he needs them.
Yeah, that's what he does when he's on, and he is on. I think it's safe to say, people have been asking me, do you think Jordan Spieth will get back? As if he's, just disappeared.
Yeah, he's only 27 years old. And,
yeah.
He's back, boys. We can say that now. This is his tournament to win or lose now. Good save there.
Disappointing 4, though, for Matt Wallace. That's one of the simpler holes on the way in.
Spieth is now 10 under, David, on holes 12 through 18 this week.
Wow.
It's just, that doesn't bode well for the guys trying to catch him, at least for the history he's had in this stretch. He's got that 3-shot lead, as you mentioned.
Well, you never forget how to win. And I think, Jordan, you could just sense it on that 12th tee. Know to describe that tee shot, David, there on your hole. And just like, wow, he's doing what he needs to do. That's what champions do. And I think that's Jordan's mindset.
Well, after the really poor second shot, I'm at a loss to explain that particular one, Nota.
Yeah, especially at this level, players playing this well from 118 that missed the green that poorly, but can certainly make amends right here.
Yeah, it's a great up and down for Charley. Again, the 12th hole that they half expect to make 3 on. And Jordan, the only one of the 3 to do so. About 11 feet for Jordan, and he has hit everything on such a good pace, Paul.
Yes, he has, and that's a real strength when the crunch time shows up, David, to be able to do that. Man.
All right, so they're heading over to the tee at 13. This is Lahiri on the green, looking to get it to 9 under. And Lahiri looking to move up this board. His last top 5 finish on the tour came a while back in that same year that Jordan last won. Starting tomorrow and all next week, Golf Channel is live from the Masters, bringing you the most comprehensive coverage from Augusta National, live from the Masters on Golf Channel. And speaking of the first major of 2021, as we wrap up our 6 in a row, we wish all the guys at CBS and the women, Dottie Pepper, Jim Nantz, Sir Nick, everyone there on the CBS golf team, another great Masters. Can't wait to watch it all unfold. They might have a guy in Jordan Spieth who could be on another one of his runs to maybe perhaps another major. We got to get through this one first here, but his results in the events before his 3 major wins, he was 2nd in the Houston Open the week before he won the 2015 Masters. He was tied for third at the Memorial a couple weeks before he won the 2015 U.S. Open, and then he won the Travelers Championship 4 weeks before he won the 2017 Open, his last win. So he's on a roll, and then look at the past history. That means a major roll for Jordan Spieth.
Well, I can guarantee, Danny, the tote board over at PointsBet is changing as we speak with the stellar play that Jordan is experiencing right now.
Well, something clicked at Phoenix. He shot 61 on that exciting Saturday, and he has been able to sustain it to this point. You know, it's hard when everybody compares you to when you were your best, but that's what Jordan's been dealing with, and it's about, it appears, to come out of whatever funk he was in. Nobody will consider Jordan all the way back unless he wins.
Well, this might just validate that.
Wow.
Yep, you gotta win one, right? Before you're all the way back. No one knows that more than Spieth. This is his 5th 54-hole lead on tour since that last victory. He talked about 2 already this season in Phoenix and Pebble Beach. He also had the leads at the Northern Trust in 2017, the 2018 Open. Failed to get those put away, but we'll see.
No, you don't forget how to win. I guarantee you all those great feelings are coming flooding back.
We got to give Hoffman a little bit of credit. Had every chance in the world the last 2 holes to drop a couple shots and just made a couple nice par saves, but that's not going to get it done with Spieth making birdies and hitting shots like he just hit. So Charlie's got to snap out of it here and do what he does best.
And we'll check out Charlie's shot with our Top Tracer powered by Topgolf.
Charlie had a chance to answer Spieth's wedge at the last, didn't do it. He's got to answer Jordan's 7-iron.
And the answer is no right now, Zig.
Well, there you go. So you're staring the guy right in the face that you have to beat.
Over to 14.
Lucas Glover to play his second shot, 261 yards. Let's play a little downhill hole location at left portion of the green. Oh, and if this gets over the slope, this will work its way right to the hole. Downhill in that area. Look at this shot. Oh, man. That is going to be a kick-in eagle for Lucas Glover to get to 10 under. We go back to 13.
Good look at that whole location. Wind really whipped around TPC San Antonio earlier in the week. It started to calm down a little bit yesterday afternoon. Hasn't been a ton of wind today. Now for Matt Wallace. 4 back of Spieth.
7-iron.
Love you, Palmy.
No way. This is right.
So both Spieth and Hoffman out to the right. Another dart by Jordan Spieth, trying to increase his lead here at San Antonio.
The approach shot coming into the shell. Look at that. Very close to going in. And that will also be a tap in. We just saw that beautiful shot for Eagle, and Keegan Bradley's done the same thing. Now for birdie at 16. Corey Connors able to make that. So Connors mounting a charge on the back half. He did not have the benefit of coming back and enjoying last season as the defending champion. He was the winner here in 2019. I thought Brandt Snedeker might be able to make a bit of a run on Saturday, but cost himself late in the afternoon and just hasn't been able to rebound from it. And so Snedeker just brushing that in. So he comes through the front 9 with a couple of birdies on his card. The back 9, 1 birdie as he's moved it to 8 under, but then takes the par there. Now getting a feel for this shot just in front. And these players going through their numbers. And it looks like Wallace will be the first to go. Final group working the back 9. Matt Wallace taking a look at what he has here, where he wants to land this. They have to visualize that landing spot, what type of spin they want on it, and how far they think it will run out. And so Wallace, who is level par today, he made a birdie on the second hole and has played 1 over golf the next 10. And compare that to Jordan Spieth, who was 1 under through his first 5 holes and has played 3 under golf since then. So he's got a 4 under score on the card today. 9 of 12 greens and 17 putts to this point, including the birdie at 12.
Well, we've seen both these guys, Wallace and Hoffman, make some nice saves, especially Charley Hoffman on the last 3 holes. But the way Spieth's playing thing, these guys, even saves aren't going to get it done right now.
Nope, they're in big trouble if they want to win the golf tournament. And there are some birdie holes coming up, and they're not gimmies either. You know, they're not gimme pars. If you hit 4 shots, you know, you can get 2-shot swings here. Right now, this is kind of desperation up and down. Maybe chip it in, Woody.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking about chipping it in. Don't get much more basic than this.
Wow. Fuck me. I just can't even do a basic chip shot right.
You heard him. Can't even do a basic chip shot. He's made 1 birdie today. He made 6 yesterday. 14.
Gary Woodland with his birdie putt here. And beautiful pace there. Had to pitch out after missing the fairway, so not going to be able to take advantage of this par 5. We go back to 13.
And Hoffman, who's had 3 beautiful saves the last 3 holes.
But like you said, Danny, saves aren't going to get it done. He has to be looking at making this, especially with Spieth in there tight.
Oh, yeah. Charley Hoffman, the unexpected birdie. And the 44-year-old just not going anywhere. Talk about a gritty performance the last 4 holes.
This was just textbook. It's what a huge time to chip it in. If your putter won't pick up the slack, let that wedge do it for you.
Oh, a little delayed fist pump till he knew it was going down.
Well, Charlie's going to have to close the door with the putter. Right now, Jordan Spieth's the guy that's been capitalizing on these mid-range putts, and he's got another really great chance here.
I'll tell you what, if this doesn't go down, Hoffman has just kind of squeezed the vice a little bit here.
No doubt.
In Charlie's favor in this particular situation, Jordan couldn't have a harder putt. This is a downhill left to right slider. Any loss of speed, it will drop off to the right. So, you know, that's going for Charlie, but you've got Jordan Spieth putting it on the other hand, who's one of the best putters and best readers of greens
Spieth
in the world.
400 today. Best round going by anyone in the 13 threesomes who teed off number 1. So, guy that was tied for the lead, playing the best golf of anybody. Just to add to his birdie collection this week. Oh, thought it had a chance to leak in there, but when it looked like Spieth might pull even further ahead, Hoffman comes up with a chip in for birdie. Spieth settles for par, and he's within 2. We talked about what Hoffman has done the last 4 holes now. This was his 3rd at the 10th.
Well, this was pretty magical. He just was at the mercy of the first bounce, and he got a great first hop. It just died there and trickled up for it.
Yeah,
wonderful save.
Didn't end there. Remember, he had a chip out of the rocks left of the fairway at 11.
Yeah, one of the rare bad shots that Charlie hit to this point, and then he chipped out and was able to tap that in for par.
Yeah,
that was huge.
Kept the momentum going, and then from the bunker at 12.
Very tasty. Nice little upslope, but a good confident motion and a virtual gimme there.
And then the last shot he just hit, 2nd at this par 3 13th. He's got soft hands. When he gets it going with a putter, he can line it up, and he can do the same with the wedges. 0 for 4 in greens and regulation on this back 9, yet he's 1 under.
That's how you get it done. If you want a chance to win a golf tournament on this tour, you have to survive those stretches. He has. He still has a chance.
Yep, he's gone through the rough patch. You can see that he's matched Spieth 4 under on the round today. But again, he began this day 2 back, so Wallace has kind of exited a little bit at the moment. He was tied with Spieth, and now Hoffman and Spieth dueling it out. Woodland over at 14.
Yeah, his par putt here, Dan. Oh, man. So a 6 at the par 5 for Gary Woodland drops him back to 8 under. And it's Jordan Spieth and Charley Hoffman putting on quite the show here in the final round of the Valero Texas Open. Who will come out on top? Stay with us.
Saturday, we watched as Spieth and Wallace matched each other. Now Hoffman trying to do the same thing with Spieth on this final day of play. Troy Merritt. And the approach coming in. See if he can get it close to this flag, finishing up on the par 5. That was from 133, and it leaves, looks like 20+ feet. Chesson Hadley. Second at 15. And Hadley trying to rope this one on from 213 yards. The drive was 263. It's a very narrow landing area in the fairway, and then that pin is all the way to the back, so they have to be very precise. K.H. Lee, his third at 18. And trying to get this one cleanly out of the bunker. This is moving to the left, but not by much. Good shot from 123 yards out. And he's got a chance to see if he can play it on for perhaps an eagle. Second at 15 for Sebastian Munoz. And Munoz, that will find the bunker with not a lot of green to work with, so he's going to have to try and get up and down from there, and that will definitely be a tough shot to execute.
Comcast Business Tour Top 10 will be determined at the conclusion of the 2021 Wyndham Championship later this summer. That's the final event before the FedEx Cup playoffs get underway. Bryson DeChambeau in the top position on the current FedEx Cup points list has a chance, if he stays there, to win $2 million, additional $2 million if he stays there going into the playoffs. And there's the way they stack up right now. Billy Horschel making the big move, 38 spots up with his win at the WGC last week. Spieth would jump right up into the 7th spot in that Comcast Business Tour Top 10 if he's able to hang on here. But Charley Hoffman has other ideas.
Well, it starts with the tee shot here at the par 5. If you hit a good one, you definitely will have a chance to reach this green in 2.
And this is on an ideal line here, Gary. Going to work a little left to right when it lands. Should be perfect.
Charley did make a 3 here at this par 5 yesterday. Brilliant second shot to within 4 or 5 feet. Well, Jordan Spieth did not hit a fairway in the first 3 holes, and since has not missed one. So obviously he's figured something out, Paul.
Well, I'm just saying that feeling comes over him that he's felt before, Gary. He knows how to win. And I think he's really getting reacquainted with it today.
Looking for this one to cut. It's up the left side.
Yeah, it's up the left edge. Should be okay.
Oh, yeah. As long as it gets past that tree, which it did, that is fine.
You know it's good when it rolls out. If it's spinny and a crummy contact, it would never roll out like that, Gary. He nailed that drive.
Gary Matt's publicly talked about working on his attitude and his mindset and trying to stay positive, but of course you get a day like today where it tests everything in your mettle.
Yeah, look at it statistically, and the 4th round is his highest stroke average of the 4 rounds in tournaments. Now, he's only played 7 times this season, but clearly the highest scoring average is in the 4th round.
Beauty. This is beautiful, right down the middle.
Yep, well done. So all three players will have the chance to reach this green in 2. We go to 16.
And Camilo Villegas, he was the first round leader at this tournament with a Thursday 64.
Yeah, in pretty tough conditions as well.
And Camilo rolling one in from long range at the par 3. First birdie of the day for Camilo, with his brother Manny on the bag. Couple of holes left for Villegas. Few holes left for Jordan Spieth to put this one away. Charley Hoffman hanging in there. Wallace is now 4 back. Valero Texas Open continues at TPC San Antonio.
Out to the 17th for Erik van Rooyen. He is at 6 under. 2 birdies today, 1 bogey. So a 1 under round. Van Rooyen was in a great spot after 2 days of play, but shot level on Saturday, just wasn't able to move up. And right now, 1 under today. Palmer playing his 4th. Out of this back bunker at 18, it doesn't get on the green. Tough break there. He had a little bit of that side spin coming out of that lie, and as it was landing, trying to get to the green, it just started to spin away. Corey Connors looked like he also had a challenging shot up against the lip of that bunker. He does get it onto the green and trying to work a little closer. K.H. Lee, and he's going to need this for par. This is actually for birdie for K.H. Played from the green side bunker, or bunker a little further away from the green because he had 122 coming in. So it was one of those bunkers that lines the right side. And from there, he played his 3rd shot to the edge. So now just looking at that finishing putt for par here at the last. Keith Mitchell, as he's at 4 under par, we pick him up at the 17th. He's alongside Erik van Rooyen and Corey Connors. And that will just work to the edge. So Mitchell, over par on the front side, went out in 39, then cleaned the card up with 3 birdies on the back half. Merritt for birdie to finish up at 3 under. Not breaking to his right. So Merritt, he'll have to live with a 5 at the last.
Modern day trophy for the Valero Texas Open. This event is the oldest event on the PGA Tour to be held in the same city for its entire existence. And there is no doubt that Jordan Spieth would like to add another PGA Tour trophy to his collection from the state of Texas. Only other one he has is the one at Colonial in 2016. As you look at the JW Marriott in the background there, once again, thanks to everybody there, the staff there. A lot of the players are staying there. Most of our crew there as well. Just walk on over to the golf course, get to work, and go right back on campus, as they say. Spieth is waiting for the green to clear, so we head up to the green.
Where Cameron Tringali is getting ready to putt for birdie. Tringali had the 36-hole lead. Struggled a little bit yesterday to a 73 and is 1 over par in his round today as well. Still looking for his first win, Paul.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that it's taken this long.
297th start.
He hits it so nice.
Up at 15.
Lucas Glover with his 2nd shot. 15th, 474 yards today. A good hole. Oh, Lucas right at it. That's in good shape, just off the back edge. 14.
Anirban Lahiri has this putt for a par. Made a mess of the hole. Was well right with his 2nd. able to get the ball on the green. And came into this week, Paul, having missed 3 consecutive cuts, but had the week off last week. Said he worked hard with his instructor on his swing and came back with a little more confidence.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling in the world, getting a cuts miss streak going. They're hard to end them. It's stressful.
And last play in the group will be Tom Hoagie, and he's got this short one for a birdie. And gets it to go. Comes to 8 under par, and that's in a tie for 5th at the moment. And we take a look at where the final threesome has ended up off the tee on this par 5. And as you see, it is the easiest hole on the course, 32 under par. So far today, the field has played the hole, and all 3 players in the final group positioned very nicely off the tee.
Well, you said it, Gary. It really starts with the tee shot here on this par 5. If you don't hit the fairway, you're probably not reaching.
All right, cool. Let's get to that one.
And because of the angle of the hole, doglegging to the right, Spieth will actually play his second shot first.
Yeah, reaching not the issue, Gary. 261 hole, only 238 front. So just a matter of solid contact, trying to land it on the front third.
Well, he likes it. Oh, he gets a very soft bounce. Wow. And that leaves a delicate little pitch or chip there from the front portion up the slope and then back down to the hole. So
you would almost want to miss this a little long, Gary, and back up toward the hole. So
yep.
It's just not ingrained in these players to go long sometimes. He's trying to swing this from right to left back in, but it's not turning as much as he'd like.
Sit now.
Well, wants it to sit. It's going to catch the downslope. It'll race just through the back of the green, but a much easier shot there for his third than Spieth will face. And Matt Wallace after the longest drive of the 3.
247, Gary, and if he's got any chance left, he's got to be feeling he's got to make a 3 here and get in this game at all. Falling right again.
Yep, and that will miss. And just misses the bunker, so not terrible. All right, Jordan Spieth maintains the 2-shot lead over Charley Hoffman as they play the 14th.
Gary Woodland, 8 under par, has 164 coming in. And a very good approach. This was after the miss at 14 from short range. Certainly wasn't happy after that, and now trying to bounce back and see if he can get it to 9 under once again. 7 under is Brad Snedeker. And Sneds, former FedEx Cup champion, hoping to get this one to that back flag, and he's done pretty well with it. Snedeker looking at 10 feet remaining to see if he can bounce back from a bogey as well. He lost a shot at 16, looking to rebound at 17. This is the 18th for Ricky Fowler, roughly a 75-yard wedge play, and didn't quite get it all the way back to that flag, but still leaves himself an opportunity to see if he can pick up birdie. And he's just shaking his head, mystified. You have that exact number in mind, and they've hit enough shots in their career, they expect to see it come in close to that pin. Spieth just trying to stay very focused and eye on the prize mindset, shaking his head just a little bit as he's 75 feet from the cup. It's been a beautiful day this Sunday here in San Antonio, Texas, after a rainy Saturday. Soaked the golf course, pushback play, but they were able to get everything in the third round before darkness fell. And they were back out early today. Jordan Spieth is holding on to a 2-shot lead, although Charley Hoffman was able to chip in from off the green at the par 3, while Jordan had a terrific look at birdie and was not able to convert it. So it's back to a 2-shot lead for Spieth over Hoffman, and then Matt Wallace 2 shots further back. And we'll get out to the final group again.
Here at 14, Jordan Spieth looking at his greens book, trying to decipher exactly what he faces here.
Yeah, it could be argued he has the toughest of the 3 approach shots just simply because it's so long. He's coming at it with the putter, and if you're off a little bit on the speed on the fast side, it will run down that slope and well past.
And we've got a great look here. Notice the shiny part, the light colored part, that's actually into the green and uphill. And then the dark color you see right where Matt Wallace is standing now is the top of the slope, so it runs downhill from there to the hole.
And it's interesting, Jordan and I had a conversation yesterday about the changes in grain here on these greens, and he really pays attention to those and actually incorporates elements of those shifts in grain into his speed control and to sort of what his final calculations are as far as how hard he wants to hit some of these putts. So paying attention to all of it, these guys.
Well, no greens books this coming week at the Masters.
Good.
And there's some talk among the players and throughout the world of golf that I don't know, will we see greens books in the future? I mean, they're legal for now.
All right, looks as though Matt Wallace will actually go ahead and play his third.
Yeah, Gary, tough little angle coming over that same ridge you were talking about with Jordan, and it's just going to be all about speed and spin control here.
And this one's easy if you hit it just a touch too hard to run it all the way through to the fringe, past the hole.
Pretty yucky.
Well, it's not done yet.
Oh, getting better.
Yeah, it'll pick up speed. There's a good indication, Paul, of just how steep that slope is.
I thought that was going to stay up there, but yeah, it is fast going to the right.
15.
And this was just a moment ago. Lucas Glover for birdie. He didn't hit it. He got caught up. Oh, now Gary Woodland for his birdie. And that puts Gary Woodland into a tie for actually 5th on his own to 14.
Spieth will be next to go.
Do you think seeing Wallace's ball run out there helped or hurt Spieth? Just seeing how quick.
Well, he doesn't want to leave it short. I know that.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, if you knock it 6 or 8 feet by, it's very makeable coming back.
Just got to creep it over that hill.
Yeah, it's carrying too much speed. Yeah, it's okay. Putting back uphill from there without much break.
Another chance for Charley Hoffman to put some heat on old Spieth.
As Ricky Fowler finishes up at 18 for par, we're going to see a 41 consecutive major championship streak come to a close. As Ricky Fowler was in the throes of some of the worst play he's had in his career. Only 2 players have longer active streaks, Adam Scott and Zach Johnson. The last major Fowler missed, the 2010 U.S. Open. Currently at a tie for 17th, Fowler is. His best finish this season, tie for 20th at Riviera. So we're seeing signs of Ricky, the ultimate optimist, coming back. It's been a long road for him.
Yeah, that'll snap him awake if he wasn't already.
All right, 14. That's Hoffman's third on the way. Oh, and this speed looks good.
Yeah.
Looks real good.
Sure does, Gary.
There's a definite birdie.
Did what he had to do now.
Mm-hmm.
Shifts back over to Jordan.
And Nota, just as we talked about, much easier play from past the hole with your second shot.
Yeah, you and I talk about it all the time in terms of not every shot from these players' clubs comes off just the way they want, and sometimes it's just a matter of making sure your misses are in the right spot, and Hoffman just missing it in the right space, and much easier approach putt than both Spieth and Wallace had.
Okay, so he reaches 15 under par. And again, you think back, 5 over par after what, his first 13 holes? So he's played 20 under par since. And he was the runner-up here, guys, in 2019 to Corey Connors.
Yeah, Charley Hoffman's the consummate. He's the horses for courses guy here at the Texas Valero Open.
All right, big putt here for Jordan if he's going to maintain the 2-shot lead.
Yeah, this is a great test for Spieth. When he was playing his best, just really had the ability to slam the door shut, and people were knocking on it. So
it's an amazing statistic, isn't it, Paul, that these guys, the tour average from this distance, just under 9 feet, is less than 50%.
Yeah, I mean, they got every machine video technique. They tap down the greens, tap down spike marks. It's just hard. And it's simple. It's just not easy.
Oh, never a doubt.
What a great putt. That's a speed on that, Gary. And this is the key, under pressure.
And he knows how important it is. You'll see a little reaction from him. Yep, little fist pump. Okay.
Not so fast, Charlie.
Nope. Up at 17, short par 4, although playing considerably longer today with a back hole location. Brent Snedeker a chance to reach 8 under.
Break.
Oh, nice catch, Hole. So Snedeker in line for his best finish of the season. As we go back to 14, Matt Wallace for his birdie. All right, Jordan Spieth strides to the 15th tee. Still 2 shots clear of Charley Hoffman. Stay with us.
Corey Connors, winner here in 2019. 6 under his second coming into 18. Drove it up the center of the fairway. Has 305 yards coming in. Couple of different routes you can take. And it looks like he will play it out to that right side. And then Connors will be looking at about 100 yards coming into the pin. And that is a decent angle. 16 now for Lucas Glover. Glover alongside Matt Kuchar and Gary Woodland. And this one landing nicely above the hole. And coming back just a touch. He's inside of 10 feet. Keith Mitchell with his second out of the light rough up the right side here at 18. Mitchell with 303 yards remaining. So he also will look to lay this up. That could be trouble. It might have hopped into that creek. And you can see as it just meanders up the 18th. You think you have a good line, and then it just takes that odd hop. 16, and Matt Kuchar.
Matt. Are you kidding?
Kuchar doesn't sound like he likes it. That's left into the bunker.
Oh boy. Please.
Eric Van Rooyen second at 18. Full swing, 299 yards, looking to go up the right side here at 18 with a wedge from there.
Final 4 holes here for the final group.
Hoffman first up here at the 15th, and you can see trouble all the way down the left here. Big fairway bunker on the right. 474 yards today. Doesn't like it, let it get right.
Trying to avoid that bunker up the right.
You mean that bunker?
That one.
Yeah, well, it's got a nice clean line. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Jordan will be up next.
Yeah,
Boy, he has driven the ball so well since the middle of the front nine.
Yeah, right at the 8th hole, he really clicked things in, made a nice hybrid swing off the 5th tee, good 3-wood swing off the 6th tee, and then just found it with the driver, which has been a huge difference maker, taking a lot of stress off the other parts of his game. Aggressive here, though. Doesn't need this, but obviously feeling good about it.
He left it right as well. Oh, now that one may not be so good if that has run all the way up underneath the lip. So Matt Wallace really has to do something special over the next few holes and rely on Jordan making a mistake. Now, these are all big swings now from here on into the house.
This one's much better, David. Right down the right center. Perfect drive.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's looking for. The hole cut all the way in the back left here. Up at the green, Anirban Lahiri.
He's had a lot of putts from this length that have slid past the hole. Not that one.
That one didn't. So Lahiri moves it to 9 under par, but he's 8 back. They're all chasing Jordan Spieth.
Now look at the 16th, and across the green, we will see the work here at the par 3 with some distance for Gary Woodland, Lucas Glover, and Matt Kuchar, all on the green. Woodland the furthest from that pin, 37 feet here. And there's not much to influence this putt, a little bit of break. It's almost a little bit of a rail ride when you try and figure out that line from the outer edge, a little bit of a saucer effect. Well, he had a good line, but less than a couple of feet to go, but didn't quite get it there. 17 for Sebastian Munoz. Colombian with 118 coming in. Munoz with a good tee shot. And his second, leaving about 10 feet of work for birdie. He'd love to be able to pick that up. It'd be his third on the back 9. He was even going out. That could get him to 3 under. Now the third at 18 for Van Rooyen. 6 under par. And to the right of the flag. Groups coming down the stretch, finishing up on the back 9. Others have turned onto the front side of TPC San Antonio. And the scoring certainly active at the top. And Jordan Spieth still holding on to a 2-shot. Back in at 16. Kuchar. Looked like when he found the bunker, he had an angle of attack to this cup, but unfortunately he did not. He needed to play it back to the front of the green, and Kuchar's left himself in that inevitable spot, missing from 35 feet, and ultimately tapping in for a bogey. So Kuchar will drop back to level for the day.
Back at the 15th, and Jordan Spieth in some kind of trouble here. Noted, did you see the lie?
Yeah, I got a great look at it. First and foremost, not a great lie. Sort of settled down in the sand there, and then he's got lip issues about 3 or 4 yards in front of his ball.
That's a horrible lie. And here's his reaction when he sees that lie. Yeah, that doesn't help. And that's the last thing that he needed, trying to bring this to the house.
Yeah, I mean, it's a situation he's got to try and play himself around. You know, what compounds the issue is that he's 15 yards further back in this bunker and the hole's cut 20 yards deeper, so it's a net 35 more yards.
Well, he got himself into a spot of bother here yesterday as well. This is exactly the same bunker, 140 yards from a good lie. Boy, would he love something like that today, but I don't think that's possible, Noda.
Well, he made it look awfully easy yesterday, but much different scenario.
Charlie will be up first, and he doesn't have those problems, Noda, right?
No, he's got a very nice lie, as you referenced, as that ball rolled into the bunker and 177 to the hole, so it's just a matter for him of club selection. No lip issues, anything, just trying to get the contact to create the yardage.
Has Jordan even, does he have an easy layup?
Well, what I think he has to do is, you know, if he could try and get anything just on the front edge, you know, he's got 144 to the front edge.
I think that would be brilliant from there.
You know, Hoffman has 146, you know, a couple yards further back, so, you know, he can switch from a mid-iron to a short iron, but Hoffman's got mid-iron in his hand, probably a 7.
Could strike a blow here. Charlie. No, he doesn't like it.
Came out of that one, yeah. Didn't like that one at all.
Well, that's right when he needed to hit a good shot, right there.
You hit the nail on the head, Paul.
He had his chance. And see what Jordan does, but yeah.
This did not look like it was lying.
It's down a smidge. It's not a concern on clearing the lip. I could hit one more, but I like this one just to
be safe.
Do it.
Yeah. It's off the right pretty good.
Yeah, if you're stuck between clubs on this shot,
all right, come on. Give me
take the smaller one.
The only major thing that could really derail him here is if he hits it fat enough to catch the bunker directly in front of him, which is 45 yards short of the green, about 100 yards from where he's sitting right now. Well, he got a lot out of that. Sounded pretty clean to me.
Stay straight.
Oh, right, wow, what a shot.
Golly, that was so close.
Yeah, it was. And I'll tell you, that was a great effort from not a particularly good lie, and underneath the lip of that bunker, see what kind of a contact he makes here. The ball sitting down. Oh, that's just superb. See him holding that club face square on the way through, chopped it out of there. No, not Wallace.
162 helping win, David. This is 9-iron. It'll collect back there if you can get it on the right edge. Turning left of the hole. This is going to have to get down, I think.
Oh, lovely shot. Yeah, just dribbled off the left edge, but that's flag high and a good chance for Matt Wallace. Up ahead at the 16th.
Yeah, ahead for those guys is this par 3. David Glover with a birdie chance.
He just beating that sweet spot to a pulp today.
He is. Glover solo 4th. Yep. Solid 11 under, 5 under on his round. Couple of holes left for Lucas.
Yeah, and he missed some shorties yesterday. And, boy, Lucas really hitting it nice.
Yeah, he's 5 under in the last 5 holes to 17.
Yeah, just a moment ago, Sebastian Munoz birdie putt to get to 8 under. And that nicely done. 3 under par in his final round. Now Chris Kirk has a chance to reach 8 under as well. Boy, what a comeback this is. Bogeyed the first 2 holes, Paul, to go drop back to 3 under.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Yeah, and has now made 5 birdies and no bogeys since. So he moves it to 8 under as well. We're back to 15.
The final group approaching the 15th green here, and well, Jordan has left it in a pretty good spot here, Noda.
I mean, that's about, you called it, that's about the maximum he could have gotten out of that club. And you heard him talk with Greller about taking the safer club. He felt like he could have got one more out of it, but that's how you manage these tough situations with the lead. You know, he knows they have to play to beat him.
Yeah.
Make them beat you with good golf, not with your own bad golf.
Yeah. 2-shot lead. You see him just brushing the turf.
This is just right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah. It's a field shot.
Is he going to throw that and check it, or play some kind of a low skidding shot?
I really feel like, what he's really been relying on is, this turf is so pure. Just hitting a nice skidder in there.
It's getting real now, guys. I mean, it's 4 holes to go. He needs to hit a good one. Let's see how he feels.
Just magnificent, magnificent shot. Under pressure. That's the Jordan Spieth we remember. And the folks down here in San Antonio remember him also. Another look at that one. Watch him just clip this off the top.
Guess he feels pretty good, David.
I guess so.
It almost had the feeling of had it gone in, David, as a go get that moment to Grella, right?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
we saw at the Open, his last win.
Yeah.
That's just clutch golf when you need clutch golf. Doing what he has to do. Now he put it all on Charley Hoffman here.
Yeah, good lie in the bunker.
Yeah,
pretty simple
really
bunker
good
shot.
lie. Aside from the fact that all the energy is moved towards Spieth and that great shot, I mean, he has to recompose himself and understand that he's not out of this. Got to keep fighting.
Lovely noise. He's going to run out of touch. That's a beautiful shot from Charley. He has 3 shots over Matt Wallace at the moment. On second and third place. Jordan Spieth firmly in control and a beautiful up and down here at 15. Just what he needed.
And David, as someone who had a front row seat to that his last win at Birkdale, this is looking awfully familiar. I'm having some flashbacks out here.
Yeah, yes. How about flashbacks of that 13th hole when you and Kuchar were taking a knee down on the fairway while Spieth was climbing the dune on the right?
And so was Roger Maltby, as I recall.
I think he tried. It didn't happen.
No, he tried to send me over there, but I wasn't going.
Matt Wallace here. I know he's not where he wants to be in the tournament, and the day hasn't been what he's wanted, but his composure has been really good, and I know that's what he's been working on. He's had a couple of chances to really, blow his stack, but he has kept composed and focused on what he's doing. So I think that's a huge step forward for him.
Expecting that maybe to move a little left. He'll settle for 4. Up at the 17th.
Lucas Glover playing his second, 97 yards, back hole location today. Oh, look at this. Wow, is this guy a ball striking machine, Paul, or what?
He is dialed in, Gary.
Unbelievable. Back to 15.
Well, this is absolute must-make now for Charley.
Yeah, if there's really any reasonable hope to stay in this golf tournament, he has to have this putt, David. Taking a nice long look at it. Uses a line on top of his ball to sort of get his start point set up, and takes that shaft and just makes sure the line's pointing exactly where he wants to start, especially on these short ones.
I'm just trying to make sure that he gets comfortable, visualizes the ball going in the hole.
Yeah, you talk about self-belief, David, and I talk about it, and this is one of those self-belief moments. You have to trust your stroke here, 5.5 feet.
So, still has a chance, but Jordan in charge with 3 to play.
Taking a look at Tom Hoge trying to get out of this bunker. We haven't seen too many find this center green bunker, but Hoge, unfortunate to tee it there, but he's able to get up and out. Let's see if he can get down for par from there. Camilo Villegas, fairway medal, second shot at 18, and got a nice drive up the center of the fairway, and he looks like he's taking the left line, 281 yards coming in, and that will be well offline as Keith Mitchell is finishing up with his standard bearer, just signing a souvenir golf ball there, and that's where the second shot came to rest nearby. Cameron Tringali out of the bunker at 16, and he's left himself with a high percentage putt for par. Now back to the work at 18, Kyle Stanley. And Stanley looking over his left shoulder, 307 yards, and he played at 195, which left 124 coming in, and it just hangs off that back edge. Still not a bad shot at all with a wedge, but he is off the green. He'll be putting from there about 22 feet for birdie. A look at 18, we've seen 128 birdies this week. The par 5 finishing hole, we'll see whether or not there's going to be a huge swing late in the afternoon. Last group is working the 16th now, and we've seen a holdout eagle at 18, over 125 birdies made compared to over 50 bogeys or worse, but it is among the top 4 in scoring, averaging about 15% better than par.
Well, we all remember the historical way that Jordan Spieth began his PGA Tour career. If he wins today, he'd be the 6th youngest player to reach 12 PGA Tour wins since World War II. And these are the names we've been talking about with Jordan Spieth seemingly ever since he came on tour. Only Woods, Nicklaus, Thomas, McIlroy, Mickelson younger, even after going nearly 4 years without a win. So getting ready to get back into the win column as he takes a look at this signature bunker in the middle at 16.
Yeah, very unique, and obviously this is an area with today's hole location that you do want to avoid. Now there is a slope behind the hole that the players can work the ball back down to that location if you want to take on the risk of trying to play into that area. But what I would expect to see from Jordan Spieth, especially with the 2-shot lead, right into here, somewhere just short and a little bit right of the hole.
And Charley Hoffman has the honor. Boys, even hanging in there as you look at the way they played 16 through 18.
Needs to hit a good one to put some pressure on. This moving just left of the hole.
Coming back. Yes, sir. Pretty good shot for Jordan here. It's okay. I think, you know, a big part of his experience is going to pay dividends is to be able to control your adrenaline here, Noda, when he hits this shot, because as Gary pointed out, long is no good.
Yeah, I agree. Just wait a sec.
Maybe some pumping when he goes by here.
It's laid down. Okay. It's not enough yet right now.
70 numbers playing 60 still. Warm, a little wind.
Yeah, I just want to feel that steady breeze.
As long as it's right at it, it's fine, right?
Yeah, just wait a sec to get that breeze though. You know, it's not like we're going anywhere.
I just think this is going to be what it is.
Instead of the 5 minutes we're here waiting.
I don't really want it to come into me, and it's not into. It's 5 miles an hour down up there.
I just want to feel at your back, you know.
I'm good with it.
Okay, I want to come down just right.
Yeah, Zara, you're right. Adrenaline is a factor in these calculations coming down the stretch with these players. It's just dead still. I don't think he likes.
I mean,
You
it's
heard
like
him.
just totally stopped, hasn't it? I want to, yeah. I mean, when I got over it, I almost felt it just a little bit in my face, so I just wanted to back off.
Just give it a second. fine to be patient, you know.
Still got to be this club. This is going to carry you 100%.
I know. Just wait till you get that wind.
All right. You can't wait forever.
That dynamic is priceless. You've got the jumpy guy, impatient.
Yep.
Spieth, and Griller says, you got all the time you need, pal.
Sticking with the 9.
Asking it to get going. It does. Wanted it to go a little more. It backs up behind Hoffman.
Oh, that's going to be a nervy little chip.
Taking a look at this
Well,
from the
9
side.
iron. Yeah, that's probably needed a chisel 8, but he knows that back bunker's X. Oh, he took a nice kick forward for a 9 iron, but then that little low area gobbled him up. And that's going to be dependent on the lie. You might have to play that behind his right foot. Well, that was such an important shot.
Now Wallace solidly in third. He's got Glover on his heels at 11 under.
Feet tight.
It was tight. That's how you play it.
Ooh, what a shot.
Maybe Wallace can make his first birdie since the par 5 second. His only birdie of the day. Up at 18, Snedeker for birdie. This guy's had a rough ride as of late. It seems to be showing some progress as well. Snedeker with a final round 68, post 9 under. Solid position, tied for 5th at the moment to 17.
Lucas Glover with this short putt to get to 12 under to play the last 6 holes in 6 under par. Okay, and Paulie's made a total of 24 feet of putts in those 6 holes to get to 6 under for those holes.
You think he's hitting it close?
Yeah, real close.
He did it yesterday too. Lucas Glover is on a roll, tee to green.
Classic duel here, Zing, between Hoffman and Spieth. Even though Spieth has the 2-shot lead at the moment, Charley Hoffman in search of his first win since winning here back in 2016. Pretty good stuff.
It is good, and Charley Hoffman has answered Jordan Spieth a couple times when he needed to, and then Jordan answered when Charley Hoffman did some good stuff. So the big one was the chip in by Hoffman, and then Jordan Spieth was able to answer. And I think all those feelings are flooding back to Jordan Spieth of what it takes to win. And you know, I always believe, Gary Koch, that feel trumps thought, and we know how much Jordan thinks about it. But you got to believe he's got good feelings right now.
Well, what I like, Paul, he was saying that, you know, what he's working on in his swing, the feeling he's trying to accomplish, he picked up like Tuesday of the week of Phoenix, and he stuck with that one thought, that one feeling, and continues to work on that rather than jump around to a bunch of different feelings.
And it took a long time, Gary, to get that feeling. He knew he was searching. He knew he was on a track, and then you just kind of pick up that one feel and off you go.
You can have the same thought every day, but it doesn't feel the same. And that's what the pressure, you know, that's all about the pressure. It's just such an irony. You know, you stick your neck out in these tournaments to expose yourself to the pressure, and then you do everything you can to stay calm while you're in it. And it's fun to watch. And I know Jordan, he's felt it before, guys, and he's feeling it again right now.
Yeah.
Interesting club selection here, Zing. I think in most circumstances, if this was a Thursday or Friday, it might be chipping this.
I'm really surprised he's going to putt it.
Under the circumstance, I don't think it's all that bad of a call. It's a bit dicey because he got a little bit of a tiny false front right in front of him, which we've all been there. You hit a poor chip into that, and it comes up well short.
Did a little hop through there, but he got through it.
That's pretty good. I mean, he could have easily kind of nursed it up there 4 feet short as well. It's a confident stroke.
And there's the hop. It took through that fringe, quite a bit of it, Zing.
Well, I thought it was always going to be a tough little chip, you know, maybe even have to put the ball back there behind his foot if he didn't like the lie. Well, he took all that out of the equation.
I would imagine that Hoffman benefited from that little ride up, even though you got a different kind of shot coming up here for Hoffman.
Well, if Charlie wants to close the door, if he wants to win one of these tournaments, or at least get in the door, I should say, he's got to do it with the putter. And he's got to do it pretty much right now, I would think.
All 4 of Hoffman's victories have come from back. He did not have the lead going into the final round of play. He's trying to do it again and chase down a red-hot Spieth.
You know, let's not forget that 18, there is water there, and there can be 2-shot swings happening over there. So,
oh yeah,
I'm going to say this is a must-make, but he sure would. He needs to bury one. That's what he really needs to do.
Is to get within 1 of Spieth, who still has a par putt left. Solid roll by Charley Hoffman to get to 16 under. Yeah, he says to himself.
You might be right, Dan. I think he probably learned a little bit from what Jordan did, and opportunity knocked him. He's just 1 shot closer. Boy, he needed that.
Incredible job when his game kind of went south there during the early portion of this second 9, but Hoffman within 1 at least, and Spieth still has a little left here to stay sole leader. Wallace for birdie. Yep, he's got to be thinking, finally, my second birdie of the day, coming at the 16th. Wallace moves to 13 under. And now a big putt coming back for Spieth. I know it's not very long, but Griller and Jordan will give it their full attention.
Well, I'll tell you, it's downhill, and that's where everybody walks off the green right there. So we just got a great view of whether or not this rolls smoothly. There's no gimme.
Two feet 10 inches. Par for Spieth, birdie for Hoffman. And game on as they head over to the par 4 17th. And again, you've got the par 5 18th where eagles are a possibility. And with the water running up, penalty shots as well. Gary, set up the 17th.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. It's a short par 4, although playing considerably longer today than it has the entire week. Full locations all the way in the back portion of the green. The one thing you want to avoid, Paul, this fairway bunker down the right-hand side. Players have struggled to try to get the ball anywhere near the hole from that. If you hit down left, you have a good angle to play to the back right hole location, and this could easily be the shot of the tournament. And if Jordan Spieth goes on to win this was his second and yesterday's 3rd round after hitting driver. Got way to the right on the cart path and past the hole. He would end up making a birdie.
Just finish on the American flag.
How about Hoffman, Gary? I mean, he could have gone off the rails, saved all those pars, and then he just started getting hot again on this second 9.
Well, he touched on it. You could hear him a couple holes back. You know, the transition, I got quick. As long as he finishes that turn that we talked about, his instructor, Mark Blackburn, says when he does that, the transition's smooth, and he hits it well.
He just took a big, deep breath.
Oh, he's hung this out to the right. It could reach the bunker.
Oh, man, that's the one place you do not want to hit it. That is a tough second shot from there. Angle's not good. Awkward yardage.
Think that'll change Jordan's decision off the tee here, him and Greller? Gary?
Well, I would have thought he would go with less than driver anyway. I mean, you're just not going to gain that much. You can't reach the green today. No one has driven the ball onto the putting surface. So Wallace to play next. Yeah, that'll be fine. Even if it's in the left rough, it's okay. Yeah, that finds the lower left fairway. And guys, remember, this is a big week for him. He's currently 154th in the FedEx Cup point standings. Is Matt Wallace. So a third place finish here. A lot of points.
Yeah, just down the path.
Spieth got his hybrid out, so basically hitting to the absolute widest section of the fairway of an already wide fairway, so trying to take any reason to miss the fairway out of play.
Yeah, good. Very good. Down the left side. Sets up a good angle for the second shot. Jordan Spieth currently up by 1, in better position there at the 17th.
Anirban Lahiri, as he's working 17. This is a little bit of a falling putt. And Lahiri right at 11 feet. He could use it to get to 1 under on the back 9. He played it outside of the cup. And he expected a little movement. So he'll be looking at a par from the other side. 2 birdies on the front, even on the back with a bogey and a birdie. And here he's still mystified by that. Sebastian Munoz down to that primary rough. This one's got a chance. Just left of the cup. Nice play, controlled shot. And Munoz will have the tap in to finish things up, and that will mean a par there. Now Chris Kirk for birdie. And Kirk coming from the opposite side, just inside of 10 feet. 3 birdies already on the back 9. There's one more. It's a great way to finish up the day. In fact, he framed the back 9 with birdies at 10 and 11, and 2 more at 17 and 18. So it gets him back to 9 under overall and a nice 4 under score today. We take a look at our leaderboard with just the shots separating the top 2. 17 under is Spieth. Hoffman with his make, he's at 16 under. Wallace being left behind by a bit. 3 shots separating second and third. Lucas Glover's working the 18th, and he'd love to have a chance to join the top 3. He's right now at 12 under. Snedeker and Kirk both finishing up as Kirk just made that birdie to get to 9 under par in total. So a good week of work there as he's among the top 5. Anirban Lahiri had a par at 17. He still will have a chance at the 18th to see if he can add to his score.
Here at 17, Charley Hoffman surveying the situation and trying to figure out what he can possibly do with this second shot.
Yeah, Gary, very conservative off that tee, and coupled by the fact that he didn't hit a great tee shot, now left with 119.
And there's a good look at the lie, so it appears as though getting the club on the back of the ball shouldn't be the issue.
Ball looks heavy in that sand, like it's sitting down a little bit, so that's going to require quite a descending blow, and Charley likes to clip it.
Yeah, and if it gets coming in too hot, fellas, over the back is in play.
And over the back is not good. Note it's pretty steep and runs off.
101.1 and that's
Yeah, it seems like at most, but that's just a good answer. More off to the left than anything at the moment. No hurt.
I mean, under the circumstance, Gary, he's got to take that aim here with Spieth in good position. Sounded like he got all of it, Gary.
Oh, what a shot. That is really well done. Oh, got it down to the proper level of the green. It's a little short, but...
what a swing, Gary. He
Yeah.
didn't try to drill that. He tried to clip it.
Yeah, he did indeed. And quiet lower body. That is one of the keys to playing out of a fairway bunker. Don't have a lot of leg action.
What a shot.
Yeah, really nicely done. All right, Matt Wallace set to play.
Gary, I thought we might see Jordan come up by the green and watch this ball react as it landed, but yeah, he's staying down there, almost an identical shot.
Sounded like that was clipped well. Should have some spin. Yeah, there you go.
That's how you do it.
A little late run here by Wallace.
Great observation, Gary, by John Wood, that Spieth did not come up there to watch the reaction of Wallace's ball.
I don't really think there's any hurt.
I don't feel any hurt either, but I'd really like to.
Those winds are blowing down. I feel a little down.
This is that yardage that he is so good at, guys, between 50 and 75 yards. This is the yardage he's so good at. What a shot. Doing just what he needs to do, Paul.
That's some steely nerve and feeling great
Well,
and comfortable when you need to.
Exactly. It's all touch and feel there on a shot of that length.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
A little closer to that back edge than he wanted, maybe.
Well, there's only about 4 paces before you go over the green and down the hill. But he hit the shot he needed.
Well, you can't really say enough for how difficult those little finesse zone shots are when it's all on the line, Gary. He just excels there. It's a real gift, but, you know, this guy, he's been through the ringer, and Charley Hoffman's really going to make him earn it if he's going to win.
What a weekend flourish this has been for Spieth. He was 4 back after 8 holes yesterday and has just held off Hoffman and everybody else.
Yeah, you get these two guys in the last group, and they're shooting the best rounds of the day.
Yeah, he's 11 under Zing in 26 holes since then. That is smelling the finish line, a line that he's been trying to get over for more than 3.5 years.
Well, he knows how to win. That's a fact. You never forget how to do that. Hasn't been that long. And again, those feelings come flooding back. I mean, there's no technique in a 73-yard shot, really, Gary. He's just a kind of a feel wedge, and boy, Jordan, he answered the great shot of Charley Hoffman.
All right, so Hoffman to putt first.
Taking his time, being very deliberate and assessing the break here. More so trying to just get himself composed and locked into putting a good solid stroke on this.
Made a putt of about this length on the last hole.
Yeah, you got to give him a lot of credit. He had every opportunity to fold up his tent and go home, and he just hung in there. Short game kept him in there, made some critical key par saves, and
See if he can read the break. A little bit of turn to the left, coming off the slope to his right, that a lot of players have not seen. No, that's what a lot of players have done.
And you can't forget, Gary, it's been 5 years since his last win. You're 44 years old, you wonder.
That's exactly right. And remember, he's not in the Masters.
Yep.
You know, Gary makes that great putt on 16, the previous hole, and he steps up there on 17, and he's got to do it again because Jordan Spieth, he's got the foot down right to the floor, and you can grab him a little 2-shot lead here, Gary.
Which would be huge going to the par 5, because as we've seen, guys can reach that in too. Yep. And another little fist pump. And now 18 under par, 2-shot lead, heading to the final hole.
What must be going through his mind all this time? 2 shots clear, 1 hole left.
Not an easy putt, moving a little left to right. He kept the speed up. Did just what he needed to do. That is his 11th 1-putt of this round. So Wallace get to 14 under. And a nice late surge for him. All right, Jordan Spieth takes the walk over to the 18th tee with a 2-shot lead. Can he hang on? Stay with us.
Will the FedEx Cup points this week for the winner go to Jordan Spieth? We will soon find out. 500 points are on the line for the player at the top of that leaderboard. And we have watched Spieth go on the attack really right from getting out of the gates. Par at the first, then birdie at the par 5 second, followed by this beautiful shot into the par 3 third. He made the birdie there, then gave the shot back at 4, but here he is, lassoing another score. That gets him back to 2 under on the day. In the fairway at 8. Just less than 75 yards. His 3rd into that front flag. And that was good for his 4th birdie on the front side. So he goes out in 33. And then the birdie at 12. So Spieth has had just a tremendous day with his irons, putting himself in a great spot time and time again. This one clearing the bunker left of that flag. And even though he would miss out on that one, he'd come right back with the birdie on the next hole and a birdie at 17. So he has a chance to climb 33 spots and move into the top 10 in the FedEx Cup season's race. An 18 under score for Jordan Spieth as we are on to the par 5 18th. Charley Hoffman trailing by 2 once again. Matt Wallace 4 back. Lucas Glover, he's at 18 right now, finishing up at 12 under par, and he's got a look at short putt if he can make it. Looks like he'll be in for a 13 under score. No matter, a top 5 performance it looks like for Lucas Glover. And so that's a good sign. His play is improving. Woodland and Lahiri also still out on the golf course as they work the 18.
Time now for today's signature round, presented by Adobe Sign, and we go to Jordan Spieth in his round. 3rd at the par 5 second, which started off his first birdie of the day, beginning the day tied with Matt Wallace for the 54-hole lead. That got him to 13 under. Came to the next hole, par 3 third, 174 yards over the water with an 8-iron. Another beauty and another birdie for Spieth. Closest of the day there. Bogeyed the 4th, but came right back at the 6th for this birdie. To 14 under, rolling the rock. And then at the par 5 8th, in good position to attack with his 3rd. Skips it in there, another birdie, 4 in the front 9. He was out in 3 under. And then a par-saving putt at 11 to stay at 15 under. As he was staving off Charley Hoffman. And then a 12 for birdie. To 16 under. 5th birdie of the day. And again, just like he did yesterday, lighten up this second 9 deep into the second 9 at 14 for birdie to get to 17 under. And then the 3rd at 15. And it looked like perhaps he might lose his shot. Think again. And right in front of the cup. par saver there to stay at 17 under. And hit the short par 4 17th. Hit a spectacular shot yesterday and a beauty here from 73 yards, which set up his 7th birdie to get to 18 under. So every time Hoffman put some pressure on him, Spieth was there to answer. And there is the scorecard right now. This signature round presented by Adobe Sign. Jordan Spieth trying to put the finishing touches on it for what would be his 12th PGA Tour victory. After a long, long wait. And it wouldn't get much sweeter to make this win after the long wait in your home state of Texas.
Well, that was an impressive stretch of highlights for today out of Jordan.
So he's waiting on the tee at 18. Up ahead about Lucas Glover. That was just earlier. 66 for Glover. He's in solo 4th right now. No one's going to catch him.
No way. Solid 4th place finish.
Came home in 30, Glover did. Fantastic round today for Lucas.
This is a tough wait, even with a 2-shot lead. And it's a pretty simple tee shot.
Still full.
Jordan might want to make it a 3-shot hole.
Yep.
All right, Wallace is going to lead it off here. Late surge by the Englishman. Birdies at 16 and 17 to get to 14 under. And as Gary mentioned, a huge week for Matt Wallace. Sponsors exemption into this tournament.
Woody, he's got a 2-shot cushion on 4th, and he's 2 shots out of 2nd. What is he going to do here?
Well, if I was caddying for him, probably 3 7-irons, but he's got driver out, and I think he's feeling pretty good about himself. Birding those 2 last holes and getting a pretty strong stranglehold on 3rd place after Lucas's charge. So just driver up the right side, Zinger.
Yeah, that left side gets short. It looks like an infinity edge almost. It just kind of disappears and drops. The ball drops straight down into a rocky area.
You never know. This battle per second is real. You've seen a huge number. Mickelson made a 10 here earlier in the week.
We've seen 3s here, so.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Up the middle, might need to get down a hair, like you said, Zinger.
Well, it kicks left there. We can see where it drops off from that great speed shot that we have. And yeah, that's a fine spot. He might be on a downslope.
Go, Jordan.
Okay, as the driver, he's gotten much better with it after a very sketchy start earlier in this final round with it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep.
Absolutely roasted one here yesterday. Ideal.
Nice. Go, Jordan.
Well, I'll tell you, he's been clutch under pressure today. He grabbed the lead in the middle of this back 9 and has not let go.
Yep.
Well, let's not sleep on Charley Hoffman. I mean, a lot can happen. You mentioned here, Zinger, and Charley does hit it about 10 or 12 yards further than these guys, so if he can get one in play, we'll have a chance to make a 3.
Birdied it every day.
Left ball. Get through there.
Asking for it to go left. It's in that grove of trees.
That's going to force a layup. Yep, let's see.
Jordan Spieth safely in the fairway at the par 5 18th in his home state of Texas.
While getting around TPC San Antonio, the AT&T Oaks course, have to be mindful of where those challenges are. The first hole is very difficult, and as evidenced by the scoring average, it is ranking as the most challenging hole in this final round. Over a third of a shot over par. The 4th and the 9th right around a quarter of a shot over par. So those lengthy par 4s getting the best of some of the players as they come through. And then also on the back 9, 13 and 15. And we certainly saw a little bit of that earlier with the final groups coming through. scoring holes. You can bet the par fives these players need and want to take advantage of. The 14th is the easiest on the course, and it played 576 and 3 eagles given up today compared to just a few lost shots. So we've seen quite a few scoring opportunities converted there. 3 dozen birdies at the 14th, and then at 17, the shorter par 4. A total of 27 birdies and just 7 over par scores at the 17th. The 18th, even though it is a par 5 and you think of it as a scoring opportunity, it still is only played a little bit better than par, and 608 yards the number today. The Valero Texas Open coming down to the final hole. That last group out on the 18th, playing the par 5 coming in. Anirban Lahiri wrapping up as well. But Spieth, Hoffman, and Wallace in that final group. With Spieth up by a couple of shots and trying to end what has been a lengthy winless drought all the way back to 2017 when he hoisted the claret jug. He's anxious to get back in position to where he can complete the task. 72 holes of winning golf as he searches for win number 12 of his career right here in his home state of Texas.
Final hole, this final round for Jordan Spieth to try to complete this long journey to victory again. While we were away, this was Anirban Lahiri's 3rd to this par 5 from 91, sitting at 9 under.
A good spot to come in from if you're Jordan Spieth and watching. Wow.
Beauty.
Backstop there behind the hole.
Well, what about Charley Hoffman's tee shot, Noda?
Well, guys, he did get a pretty decent break over here. Caught a nice lie. The only question is he's going to get any interference from the overhanging limbs, and his backswing. The top might just catch the top of his club at the top of the backswing, which would obviously preclude him from going for this in 2, but only 247 to the front by our numbers. So, you know, the distance isn't the issue. It's can he get a good enough swing on it.
Well, as you saw, he's had a good history on this 18th hole. Again, he buried a putt that from 9 feet for birdie 5 years ago to put this away for his last of 4 PGA Tour wins, but he is 2 back of Spieth. And there's his caddy, Andy Barnes, the brother of Ricky Barnes. Andy was on the bag of Ricky when he won the 2002 U.S. Amateur back in the day.
One thing that Charlie has going for him is a 2-shot cushion on Matt Wallace, but Matt Wallace is sitting in a pretty good spot as well over there.
Up ahead on the green, Tringali, who was one of the principals yesterday in the final group for birdie. The search will go on for that elusive PGA Tour victory for Tringali. Nearly 300 PGA Tour starts. Spieth in his ever constant state of motion.
Yeah, I was thinking about Hoffman. You know, he may be, you kick finishing second to the curb here. You know, you 2 shots behind, but you've got this shot facing you. And he's going to take a look at it, because if he makes a mistake, he can still hang on to second with Wallace back there 2 shots behind him. And believe it or not, those kinds of things do creep in once in a while.
All right, well, Hoffman and Andy think things over a little more thoroughly. Up on the green is Hoagie for birdie. He's had a batch of them, especially yesterday. Talked about I had a career high 9 birdies in that round. Shot that 66 yesterday, 71 1 under round for Tom Hoagie today. Just 3 birdies for him today. Still a good week for the veteran. Keep it right here for Lahiri. Finish him up.
It's a big putt here. This would be a solo 5th to break out of a pack of tied 4 guys tied for 5th currently. And there's a lot of cash and points on the line here. This little knee knocker. Oh yeah, that's the ones that you make and you look back and say, yep, I made that for solo 5th instead of being tied with 5 guys, 4 other guys. Way to go.
All right, so Wallace is going to play out there. Looks like he's going to lay up, Woody.
He is. It's just too much of a downslope with a tree right in front of him. He took the 3-wood out to kind of get the feel of it, and there was just no way. So he's going to lay it up to the right here, leave himself a good wedge number.
Yeah, to me, this means that Hoffman's, if he has any hope at all of clearing the creek, Charley Hoffman's going to go, especially since Matt Wallace is forced to lay up here.
It's up the right side of the second bunker. Should be fine. Might need to sit down a hair.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want to hit one.
We've got identical yardages here between Hoffman and Spieth. And this is a pretty big deal. Although Spieth, you know, is going to lay up, you would think.
Am I getting in trouble going, like, you have the whole backstop of the grandstand, right? Does it carry everything? Like, is the water just not in play with 3-wood?
Well, I mean, it just runs away there. But yeah, I see what you're saying. And just anything, these bunkers, you just dump it out.
I think the back left one in the back of that could be tough. But what is it to the hole?
278 hole.
I just don't even think that this carries past that hitting that slow.
I think that's the safest one.
You think a 3-wood's safer than hitting an 8-iron over there?
Well, just because of what you said, I think it's a wider area long. It would take all the water out.
What's the cover on the right side of the green?
Right here is going to be 278, 272.
Is bogey in play with this club?
No.
Not if it's heel cut.
Well, I'm saying
it's an 8-iron. It's an 8-iron all day.
Okay. See the right camera?
And then it's over the camera tower, right?
Yeah, over the camera.
I mean, if the 3-wood is mishit out there, it could. Yeah. I think
8-iron over the camera.
Yeah, and I got room left, right?
Yep. Off the right, that wind.
There was a deep dive discussion there, Noto, about layup or go for it with the 3-wood. The 8-iron won out.
100%. This is the right club. This is the right play for the situation.
Got room over there?
That's going to need work to go.
Seriously?
Oh, well.
What was that?
Yeah. It's all right.
It's just not easy to win. I tell you what, though, if he'd have hit 3-wood there and put it in the water, he'd have been criticized if he didn't win this tournament. Boy, Charley Hoffman now, doors just creaked open still.
Zing, keep an eye on this limb. I do think it's incredibly close to the top of his swing sill.
He did catch the limb on the way back.
He just hammered this. It's cutting. This got a shot, guys.
Climbs up out of the mound.
Wow, that's doable from up there. What a good shot. Jordan Spieth, it's not yours just yet.
All right, we'll see exactly where Jordan Spieth is. Get a report on where his second landed. Went a little further left for that 8-iron than he would have hoped, but he's the guy in command, 2 clear of Charley Hoffman, who's up there in 2.
With a 2-shot lead on this home hole, we will see how Spieth handles things from here. And if he's to add his name to this list of decorated champions here at the Valero Texas Open, Corey Connors winning it at 20 under. He was the last to hoist the trophy here in 2019. Unable to play the event last year due to the pandemic, so Connors has been happy to hold on to that trophy. Andrew Landry winning the year before. Kevin Chaffel, a first-time winner and a hard-earned victory that season. Exciting finishes both from Chaffel and Hoffman on that 72nd hole. Jimmy Walker, a past winner. Australian Stephen Bowditch with quite a remarkable run on a difficult golf course to win in single digits. Both he, along with Ben Curtis and Brendan Steele, all not able to get to 10 under, but able to prevail over the rest of the field. And Martin Laird winning in 2013 at 14 under, and that was the same score we saw from Adam Scott back in 2010. Scott made a long birdie putt to take the trophy. So now the yardage calculations for Jordan Spieth as he comes up the 18th. And we have seen it and heard it said often enough. It is tough to close out a tournament. And he is trying to do that as he hopes that he'll have the trophy in his hands soon.
There's the beauty of this final hole. That's par 5 at TPC San Antonio. That water that meanders up, splits the fairway, goes all the way up short of the green. Spieth elected to go left and hit it a little further left than he would have thought. Noda.
Yeah, a bit surprising that he tried to lay up to the narrower section of this fairway that went up the left side of the creek, but all in all, it caught a decent break just in front of the scoreboard here on the 18th hole, and not going to have any tree issues, Zing. Just a very bad angle with the green sort of working away from where he has to land the ball.
You think it would have been better to lay up on the right side, Noda?
Well, it's twice as wide. I mean, he only had 180 to cover the creek, and it was about 50 yards wide there, so it would have created a better angle on the third, so that might have been the more, I guess, higher percentage play, you should say.
Well, I'm surprised he went left, but it's okay. He's got a terrible angle now, though, as you said, Noda. The hill actually runs kind of left to right towards Jordan, and the hole's only cut about 4 yards over that hill.
I'm not going to be able to get ball first. We got 70, 95 before. I got 75 to 100. Okay, so we're right in the ballpark, right? Yeah. I call it 72, 97 adjustment. We want, it should be just straight off the right on the wind. That flag's blowing a touchdown, if anything. Is it Matthew or you? Add or just left of it? I'll go. Yeah. 72.97 adjusted. Yeah, just off the right. Maybe a touch. It's got to get what? It's like 89. 89 to 97. Yep. Right. Yep.
That's a beautiful look. Doesn't even look like the hole is cut on the green from where Jordan's standing.
Sit down.
Oh, watch it. Oh, yeah, that is a very good shot to get it up there.
Yeah, you make par here, you get it at 18 under, and you make Hoffman hole it out to tie you.
Yep. Well, Hoffman's sitting pretty up there. I think he's got some green to work with.
Wallace is next.
84 yards in a perfect spot, good angle. Probably just skip it up this little tier. Could carry it all the way up and see if it'll stop. He's got some helping wind.
And that just jumped it.
That's just going to slow everything down for the two guys that are trying to win. Now, big chance here. Yep, big chance for Charley Hoffman here. Noda, I think this is doable.
It really is, Zing. He's got a nice little uphill lie. It's sitting down a little, so it's not going to check up on him, which you want this thing to get turning over to actually get to the hole. And if he comes up a bit short, there's a bit of a downslope that'll actually kick it forward. So got a handful of outs here.
Oh, gunned it a little bit.
Yep, and he's a ways out for birdie. Which will get him to 17 under. Still likely not good enough with Spieth sitting there with a 2-putt par to stay at 18 under and put this thing away. Hoffman has given him everything he possibly could have. And after Hoffman's chip there is third, this was Spieth taking a little sigh of relief and knowing what he needs to do here.
Yep, that's a big kind of a calming, deep breath.
Down in 2.
Slow your heart rate down here a little bit. We got to wait on Matt Wallace now. He's clipped his little pearl over the green. Skipped too many. That's pretty nice.
That's really nice. Tough little spot there for Wallace, who just never got it going today. Started the day tied with Spieth for that 54-hole lead, his very first piece of a 54-hole lead on the PGA Tour. But huge week for him as far as his desire to play over here on the PGA Tour full time.
Both Hoffman and Spieth not sure who's out. Wallace is being brought in to make that determination, so Hoffman's going to play next. Although I 100% believe Spieth was ready to go right now.
Oh, he's been ready. And has he ever been ready for this day? He finished in a tie for 16th in his very first PGA Tour start up the road in Dallas, Fort Worth area at the 2010 Byron Nelson as a 16-year-old high school junior. And to go through this long winless streak and to put that to rest in the state of Texas, I don't know if there's much more of an appropriate spot to do it than right here and then send you down Magnolia Lane. So he is so close in this journey.
Well, we got to see the very first kind of showing, the Jordan Spieth showing at Phoenix when he shot that 61 on Saturday, Dan.
And that was when he said, I went through 10 years plus. Every single year I actually got better at golf. I had better results too. Then at some point, you know, you might get that spot in your career. We're going to go through that adversity. And he said, for me, it's taken longer to overcome that than I certainly wanted it to. But he said, I feel confident in my road ahead for sure. There were murmurs. People, is he ever going to win again? Is he ever going to get close to where he was? And that's what he said the day before he shot that 61 on the Saturday at TPC Scottsdale that kind of ignited this whole thing. Well, Hoffman wants to add some heat here if this birdie drops.
He's got to make it. Force Jordan to 2-putt. Oh, and he had it right in the chops.
On the same green where he made that 9-footer 5 years ago for his last win. Hoffman's just going to come up a little short. 60. Look at those 3 rounds after the 75.
Wow. Well,
since 1983, no one has come from 11 back to win on the PGA Tour in a 4-round stroke play event. And he was 11 back of the first round lead.
A great tournament. And now, Jordan Spieth.
And we expected so much of him. He expects so much from himself when he gets off to an historic run in his career at the age of 22. Second youngest to reach world #1. Age 23. Second youngest player since World War II to reach 10 PGA Tour wins. Tiger's the youngest at age 23. Second youngest player in the modern era to win 3 majors. He's got them all except for the PGA Championship. And when you do things like that, that's why you get all this talk and all this anticipation for what we're about to see.
Yep, good solid 3rd place finish. But you know, we started the show talking about Jordan having to compare himself to himself, especially to the best of Jordan.
And in the state of Texas, Jordan Spieth breaks the winless drought.
Well, now he can compare himself to who he was today. Good for him. What a win.
With his man Michael Greller, who went through this thing along with him. There were some tough times for Jordan Spieth, but at the Valero Texas Open, at his career PGA Tour victory number 12, final round 66, Hoffman gave him a battle, but he wins it by a pair. Matt Wallace in there with a good week, 4 back. As we check out the FedEx Cup standings, Jordan Spieth with a win, pops up 33 spots into the 7th. He's into the top 10 and back in the winner's circle as we send you down to top.
Just one bogey, 7 birdies in this final round for Jordan, and 2 of those birdies coming in the first 3 holes. That's when you grab the lead, never looked back, although Charley did pressure a bit.
Yeah.
What mental attitude did you bring to the golf course today to get this job done?
I actually felt really light. I mean, I felt like I just wanted to come out and smile, try and have some fun. I mean, that's been kind of a challenge for me is on these Sundays that when I've been in contention is early on in the round, I've kind of just not come out with like a real lightness to me. And I thought today I did. It was nice. I like hanging out with Charley. I had all yesterday with Matt. So, man, I just, it's been a long road.
Yeah, it has. And, you know, it's hard to win out here on the PGA Tour, although early in your career you made it look pretty easy. But you have struggled with confidence over the last year or so. That being said, how impactful and gratifying is this victory?
I mean, there were a lot of times I wasn't sure, you know, if I'd be here with you, you know, talking to you about this right now. You know, I never really doubted in myself to be able to kind of, you know, get back to where I wanted to go. But when you lose confidence, it's a lot of times it's hard to see the positive going forward. And just kept my head down. I owe a lot of people thanks. I can't wait to tell them. It's a team and it's a team effort, and I've been blessed to work with the best in the world at everything that they do. So this is a monumental win for me. It's one that I've certainly thought about for a long time.
As the music implies, you didn't stop believing. Congratulations on the victory.
Todd. Well, Jordan Spieth can be happy with what he was able to get done. 83 starts between his last win and this win, and now he gets to celebrate with those closest to him as he will get ready to join the family and really just look back on what was a long time between victories from 2017 until now. The number of starts that he was very close. In fact, he had the most 54-hole leads or co-leads this season and still did not produce a win. He had gone into Phoenix with a share of the lead, finished T4 there, T3 at Pebble Beach Golf Links, and also T4 at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and ultimately 4 top 10s in his last 6 starts. And finally, he was able to get it done against a stellar field, a lot of challengers. You can log on to PGATour.com and listen exclusively to the winner's press conference, and we'll see if he peels a layer or 2 back as far as just what he was going through to finally get back in the winner's circle. Congratulations to Jordan Spieth. This concludes the PGA Tour's final round coverage of the Valero Texas Open from the AT&T Oaks course at TPC San Antonio in San Antonio, Texas.